Hello and welcome back to the Hood Report, episode 10. Sitting with me this morning, we got Leif from Chutch as usual. Leif, how you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning. Also sitting with us today, we have George from Friday. Good morning, George.
Good morning. Stoked to be here. Thanks for having me, boys. This is dope.
Hell yeah. Thanks for joining us. You've been someone that we've wanted on since day one, and I know you're also really busy throughout the winter time, so caught you here in the spring. And, happy to have you in.
Happy to be here.
But let's do a board and check-in, because it's been a couple weeks since we sat down and recorded, and I know it's felt like months as far as the amount of riding we've been doing. Leif, how's the boarding been?
The boarding's been good. I feel like it was funny you asked me that on the last episode, and I was super unprepared. I was like, it's been good. But no, the boarding's been sick since the last episode. We did the King of the Mountain, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're just been riding at Ski Bowl. There was a cool Ski Bowl event, Smooth Moves, that happened. And yeah, that's been it mostly.
How about personal highlights? I wanted to ask you, because it's like we're kind of getting... we're in the twilight hours of the toe for the year. What's your personal favorite trick that you've done at the toe so far this year?
I don't know.
You've been putting it down.
I don't know. They're all kind of mids, to be honest.
Which one felt good?
Personal highlight is just getting to ride with Jib Girl.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, was that Smooth Moves?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have it to get into. We can get into it right now. What was Smooth Moves?
It's an event.
I planned on going. I didn't make it up there that day. I got busy.
Yeah, it's an event they've done at Pine Knob for, I think, 3 or 4 years. And now Krillin, the owner of 18 Smooth, lives in Portland. So we did it up at Ski Bowl. And it was pretty much a good afternoon at Ski Bowl. Just a bunch of people showed up, and we filmed and gave out a bunch of free stuff. And that was about it. There wasn't a winner or anything, but there's just a video that just came out. So go and check that out.
Yeah, so you got some clips in there.
Yeah, I got a clip.
Had a good time.
Yep, it was just classic Ski Bowl riding.
I could smell incense as I was watching that video, just the soundtrack and everything.
Yes.
I felt like I was at the Saturday market. It was sick. But yeah, best pants in snowboarding right now, it seems like.
Yeah, those 18 Smooth pants are pretty nice.
Sick. George, how's the riding been for you?
Mostly without bindings.
I was gonna say I saw you pal surfing the other day.
Yeah, it's been good though. I mean, I'm definitely more of a someone who hunts the fresh turn, so it's been a tough season for that. But I mean, no complaints. Above ground, boarding's good.
There's been a couple days here or there. I thought that we were gonna get a couple. It seemed like we were set up to have one of those one of them years, but it's been good still.
Yeah.
What kind of a pal surfer are you riding?
I'm riding an ASMO, and it's the new quad channel that they came out with. So typically your snow surfers are flat or have a little bit of a channel, but the ASMOs or ASMOs have it kind of curls onto the side, so you flat base and then you rip left or right to actually engage an edge.
Okay.
And then it's like a 3D base.
Okay. Kind of like triple base, like the same shape as triple base.
Kind of, sort of, but towards the where the edges would be, it's accentuated and loops down.
Okay.
I should have brought one in.
So it can kind of bite into the edge. If
yeah.
You need to.
So you can actually have an edge. So if the groom's soft-ish, you can get around.
Okay.
So that's the.
I haven't gotten on one of those yet, but it seems sick.
Come ride, man! Yeah. I got a second one. Let's do it.
Where did you get the best powder days this year? At Ski Bowl, Timberline, or Meadows?
Ooh, I mean, best POW I've had all season was so between those three, it's always bowl.
At Ski Bowl, okay.
It's always bowl. It's the snow might not be the highest quality, but the terrain. I mean, how are you gonna beat up or bowl or Outback? It's the most fun.
Yeah,
true. Dude, I'm guilty. I have not gotten on the chair to go up Ski Bowl yet this year.
Oh.
I've just been anytime I go there, it's for the toe, and we've just been hiking to go get powder this year, which that's what I have for board and check in this episode is, dude, snowshoes are the shit.
Yeah, you just been snowshoeing around Timberline?
Yeah, dude, we recently Morgan and I got snowshoes, and for going up and just getting up into the side country and building little hits and stuff, and it is so sick.
You bought them?
Yeah.
Which brand did you buy?
I have no fucking idea.
Oh,
but
okay.
They're the cheap ones at Next Adventure. Michael Fushi inspired.
They were $100 or something, or what?
They're having their spring sale, so it's I think it's $100 for both of them.
That's a pretty
good
accessible snowboard
it's so
thing.
Worth it, because we went to go hit Gypsy in way steep snow, and it seriously took us an hour to get from the parking lot to the spot in Gypsy, which takes like 2 minutes normally. Like it was so bad, such deep snow. And then
You just boot packed that?
yeah, just boot packing,
okay.
and like it felt like a survival situation, sort of, which is like super silly because like you could see the parking lot from where we were. It was just fucking gnarly. And then after that, we're like, fuck this, we're gonna get snowshoes, and it makes such a big difference. I don't know.
Nice.
I also thought it was kooky as shit, but now that I see it's a ticket to like more good turns and a little bit of airtime, I'm
Dude.
like about the snowshoe.
So you've been
life.
snowshoeing up from Timberline to the Mile Canyon and
Yeah, we've
stuff
just been
mostly?
exploring the canyon
Okay.
a bunch.
Cool.
Which have been good times. So I've been kind of AWOL from the toe for the last like week or so.
Yeah.
Exploring
I
all
saw
that
both you.
stuff.
I saw you at the toe like a week ago, and you were there this weekend. So
Yeah, trying
Yeah.
to get there still. But yeah, it's boarding's been good. What else? Just lots of toe. Toes on weekends only now,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
but hopefully going to be going this weekend. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Report from the man that's working there.
We'll see.
How long do you think we're going to be able to go weekends only? What's your personal
This might be the
prediction?
last weekend, but if not, there's also the 12th and 13th scheduled to be open.
Okay.
But this could be the last weekend.
Yeah, it's like first week of April right now.
Mm-hmm.
Word, let's rip through some hood news, get you all caught up, and then let's talk about the origins of Friday Snowboard Co.
Oh shit.
It's spring snow dump. Is it over? Do you think it's going to keep snowing?
I think it's going to keep snowing. It looks like it's kind of snowy next week.
We're kind of in that pocket of time where it either is going to get really hot and really sunny, or it's going to turn back on and we're going to get like another 3 feet of snow.
Well, I think we get both of those, man.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Mixture of Oregon.
I'm putting that energy out there. But, oh, dude, your board's dropped.
Yeah.
The Leif, the
I've
sandwich
been
board.
riding it for like a month now. It's a good board.
Are you officially pro?
No. I haven't got any royalties yet.
Oh,
Yet.
dude, what? Okay, I was going to say, you got to keep tracking the numbers.
No, but I think we're going to run the same design this May, but it's going to be inverse colorways. So if you didn't get one, there'll be one more in May.
Green top sheet, purple bottom.
Exactly.
Sick. Yeah,
Yep.
I need to get one. Fuck yeah.
What size are you?
I'm riding the Friday 157 wide right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I don't think I can go back to a narrow board. I think I got to stay on the wide.
There's a 158 wide, so
Okay, there we go. That's about the same thing.
there we go.
Yeah, the waist width is about the same between those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skinny boards suck. Don't go back.
Where are the sandwich boards made at? Is it
I don't know.
Uh.
I'm not sure.
an apartment in Portland?
Yes. Handmade.
Fuck yeah. Well, congrats on that. Everyone's really
Thanks.
excited about 'em.
Congrats,
Thanks,
dude. That's
guys.
sick.
Let the
Yeah.
horse out the stable. What else? Skate season's starting to happen. Shout out Bob Parsons. This is actually one of the first notes I'd written down for this episode. I saw Bob was out skating Estacada a few weeks
Nice.
back. So
Sick.
I skated the skate park on Tuesday before working there and saw him at the Sandy skate park.
nice. Fuck yeah, Bob. Getting
So-
your reps in.
Our local.
When are we gonna start BDK Thursdays?
Probably pretty soon.
It's about that time of year.
Yeah. Do you think we should do Thursday again?
I think it has a ring to it, but it's like, are we gonna? You know what BDK Thursdays is, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
we all go. I think I've seen you come to them before.
I think I
I
went
feel like
to one of
George
the
has been
first
to a
ones.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do we continue to do it in Estacada, or do we do like maybe BDK Thursdays, keep that at Estacada, then maybe do BDK Tuesdays at Sandy or something? I don't know. I feel
We'll
like
have to
we gotta do
ask
both
the
parks.
people. Yeah.
Chime in, comment, give us some traction. Tell us what's up. All right, what else? Spring Pass has begun. There goes the neighborhood. It's nice. We got all the homies that come through for Spring Pass is all good, but the lift line fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I hate Spring Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of busy, but
I like.
I feel like in the last couple of years it hasn't been as busy because Mammoth's been open and
True.
Copper and Woodward Park City. I don't know. What do you think, George?
Yeah,
I think
no.
It's been a little bit less busy.
Spring Pass definitely has kind of died off. I mean, I know they bumped price, like every resort, I'm pretty sure, bumped prices up this year. So
Yeah.
it's definitely going to stop it. My only piece of advice to anyone on that one is like, just say fuck norms. Like, stop riding that. Go up.
Yeah, you
chip
can
some
go to
rocks.
Mile and
explore this.
Palmer, right?
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Disclaimer: I don't hate the premise of Spring Pass. It's like an awesome concept and everything. Just as a local who's like, all of a sudden your local hill just like gets unrideably blown out.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost not. The juice almost isn't worth the squeeze for the locals.
You got the snowshoes, dude. Let's get a
Yeah,
jump
no, we're
session
gonna
going.
keep going. We're gonna keep going. And yeah,
Yeah.
I've been kind of like more about doing stuff other than just riding the lifts lately, anyways. So looking forward to that. But yeah, Spring Pass is on sale. Go get it if you need it. George works at Timberline.
Yeah, I want to get fed this week, man. Go buy some more passes.
What's your position there right now?
I am the director of retail ops.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my official title. I oversee all of Timberline retail.
Okay. Sick. You're
Yeah.
head honcho for that whole department.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, fun one.
Good one to be in if you run a snowboard company.
Boy, howdy, I just can't sell to myself. Something about a conflict.
Really?
Yeah, conflict of interests. Which I get it. Like, I can't be like, yeah, I'm gonna order, 100
Yeah.
Fridays
Do
for
you
the shop this
do you
year.
Yes,
do you guys
but-
sell snowboards at the shop at Timberline right now though?
We do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
we sell Ride in public. Ride
New
is,
boards that you can buy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And then-
okay. But you can't sell Friday there because of that.
can't sell it in the shop, but rental shop holds.
Yeah, you guys
brings
do
them in.
rentals and demos at the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, which still gets it.
Could you ever sell them, or is that just a never gonna happen type of deal?
If I'm there in that department, I can't. I can't do it.
Okay. That's too bad, but at least you can get them in the demo shop and have people try them out, right?
Yeah, and I'd be lying if I said I haven't walked out the office and handed off boards.
I was
to
gonna
people
say, you can
above.
also
Yeah,
sling 'em in the
you
parking
can do
lot.
some guerrilla sales,
Which
right?
does it get more legit? Where do you want your snowboard to come from?
Yeah,
From the
exactly.
car
That's kinda
Timberline
cool.
Parking lot. Come on now. Or
Cool.
BDK. Come on.
There
Yep.
you go.
What we got? Ski bowls at weekends only. We said that. Oh, there was the DGS race to rail. Did you guys go to the race to rail?
No, I was working in town.
I didn't.
that
Did
day.
you?
I didn't. I was.
I
so
figured
tired.
you would go for sure.
Dude, I wanted to. Morgan and I counted. We heard someone talk about how many days they have on hill, and I've never really cared about that before or added it up. I always thought okay, we're probably way up there. And then I actually counted. I'm like, holy shit, we don't actually have that many. I think we're at we're in the 30s. Or
How did you
something for
count
the
all
year.
your days on hill?
I just went back through my photos.
Oh, okay.
Smart, man.
Because good luck
You
going up
gotta
to the
cl-
mountain and not pulling your phone out at
Yeah,
least one time,
uh-huh.
And I counted. I'm like, fuck, we gotta get our numbers up. We gotta go more. So we started going every day for a little couple weeks. And
Yeah.
just got fucking exhausted. And
So
then
you didn't have it for
yeah,
that
I
day.
had to crash out. On
Yeah.
That day.
Do you count your days on hill?
No.
No, I think I lost track, but
No.
You're probably quite a bit, especially if you're.
I go
working
quite a
up there.
bit. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't count them.
Yeah, it's always been quality over quantity, but
I
it's
have
interesting to
in
look
years
at.
past. I think counted. Have you guys ever counted?
Oh, totally.
I think there's a couple.
It's
Yeah.
the first time in all of my snowboarding I've ever counted,
Okay.
and I was disappointed.
And you had 30?
Yeah. More than 30, but yeah.
But less than 40?
I was like, oh, dude, we gotta be at 100 for sure. And I'm like, no, what the fuck?
Now, if you're not working up there, it's always less than you think, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, the lap before work or after.
Like if you're
work,
forced to go up there and work, I feel like you just rack up the
yeah, might as
numbers.
well go ride.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys count as a day on hill? How many laps or
I would just say one lap,
Yeah,
one
lap
strap.
times. Yeah, strapped in. and
one
riding.
strap in,
Yeah,
yeah.
you went snowboarding that
Okay.
day.
I mean, you hope it's more than that, but that counts.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the surf lap on the way to the car after work, that totally counts.
Like even taking a pine lap if you work at Timberline and you go to Gubby, that counts.
That counts?
Yeah.
Okay.
uh-huh.
Okay, then I'm crushing it this year.
Yeah,
We're
you
good.
probably have a lot. If you were up there every day, you're gonna strap in.
That's what I'm saying. I had to get my numbers up. I'm
Uh-huh.
I'm fucking lagging over here. On that note, I did not go to the race to rail. So
Yeah. Do you know? I think Darren got first place for snowboarding.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
And I don't know. I forgot who got skier.
But it looked like a good time. And then shortly after that, there was the awards ceremony for DJS King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
Shout out to Team Hood Report. We got an honorable second place.
Yeah.
Fuck
Andy
yeah.
Glader or Gladder?
I think Gladder.
I've never actually asked him. Sorry, Andy.
I think Gladder. Yeah.
Everyone knows who that is. Andy's King of the Mountain. Goes without say.
Well, I mean, that's why they named the Glade after him, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
The Gladder
Let me known
House.
kids.
Yeah. No, the Glade, man, named after Andy. Look it
Yeah.
up.
The first place team was
put
pretty.
it on Wikipedia.
The first place team was pretty impressive, though. They got a lot of points.
Yeah, they
I
put
thought we
down-
had it, but
Who was his? Justin, Nick Joyce,
Topher
Topher.
and the filmer,
I wrote it
Techie
down.
Mag. I don't know his name.
Yeah, but
You guys know his name?
I wrote it down
I don't.
Let's hear it.
somewhere around here.
Ryan, maybe?
Yeah, it's Ryan. Ryan.
Okay.
Mack.
Cool.
But
Yeah,
congrats. You
that
guys
was a
won
good
King of the Mountain.
performance.
It was pretty sick to again, Ski Bowl was closed and we all got to go and hang out in the beer stube and watch the videos together. It's a little bit like watching everyone throw some footballs over the mountains. You know what I mean? But it felt appropriate because the day that the event happened, all of the resorts were shut down and it felt super private. Felt like it was just a day for the locals in Gubby to have their own thing. And then the award ceremony kind of felt the same way, where it was like, it wasn't public, like there wasn't a bunch of randoms coming through. It was like just the people that like live up there and make it happen, like kind of enjoying some private
You think
time.
he'll do that event next year?
I hope so.
You'll have to do a team, George. Friday team.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
I think that more companies should like have a team.
Yeah.
Like everyone should have a team in the event. It's pretty tight.
We had plans to do it. Tough thing is, like, myself and the whole team, like, everyone, like, works a pretty kind of like a little more traditional job.
Yeah, it
like
was
on a
like
Tuesday. It's
Yeah,
like,
you need your
man.
unemployed friends, man.
Yeah, I love Leif's post about it. He kept being like, "That's another great episode of my unemployed friends on Random Tuesday."
Yeah, it was a good unemployment moment.
It was
a beautiful
great.
thing.
But shout out to Lex. Thank you for making that happen. Everyone that
So
participated.
the next one's a jump jam, I think, on 420.
Yep.
Right? Are you gonna go to that?
I hope so.
You like jumps,
Dude, I love. Yeah, that's of all the events, that one is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Hopefully, we get a good weather day.
Yeah.
We also got the invite to maybe go up and hang out and do some sledding around St. Helens
Oh,
that
okay.
week. So
Nice.
we can't say no to that.
Yeah.
But one of those two things is gonna happen. It's gonna be kick-ass time.
Hell yeah.
So good things to look forward to. But yeah, all good stuff. But we got George here, Friday
Damn.
Snowboard Co.
What's up?
You guys submitted a shitload of questions for him. We had a record-setting amount of questions, so we're not going to be able to get to all of them. I'm going to try to hit as many as I can, so sorry in advance. But thanks for coming in and joining us. Sorry, I'm just abruptly turning to you and being like, "Now dance, monkey."
Well, I got
But-
a Gubby lower for you if you want it real quick.
Oh yeah. Let's
I got
hear
one
one
for you.
What do you got?
So do you guys know who Tarquin Robbins is?
Yes.
Like, do you know who he is?
No.
He's like one of, if not the original, like, G'd out snowboarders, right? He was doing T-bolts out for the super wide stance, wearing double, triple XL fleeces, right?
Is he in probably Southern California
I think he was a
or
SoCal.
Colorado or
It's like early 2000s era.
Earlier.
Earlier than
Okay.
that, like 80s, 90s, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
So he's doing his, he's up here on Hood, right, early on, and gets into an altercation at the Ratskeller. And mind you, this is all like pieced together through a couple interviews that I've like put this together. But gets into an altercation at the Ratskeller, goes out to his car, pops the trunk, pulls out a pump action shotgun, goes back in. As far as I know, no shots fired, no one got hurt, whatever. But he has a lifetime ban from the Ratskeller. And the next year he had his pro model come out with Aggression, the light blue and black with the shotgun on the base.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! I've seen that board before.
That's where that comes from, and that had. I don't know if he
Damn.
still has that ban. I haven't talked to like Krista or anyone like that, but there's a fun one for you.
That's wild.
There we go. What year was that? Do you know?
No.
90s? 80s?
Early 90s,
Okay.
late 80s maybe.
Okay.
Like, it was a while ago, and
Cool.
I'm like,
Pre-cell phone, that's for sure.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you did that now, there's no getting away with nothing like that. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure Chris Bradshaw lists Tarquin Robbins as one of his influences.
Yeah.
So they got kind of that same style of riding.
Very Cypress Hill inspired.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah. I mean, you look at his old video parts too. Like he was like jibbing stumps and logs and rocks.
Doing
like,
bonks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
If any of the Mount Hood OGs are listening, maybe they can chime in. Dude,
Yeah.
fucking, it's on Facebook, so it's like not the most exciting thing maybe to talk about, but like, it's really cool. Have you seen the Mount Hood OGs?
They have an
thing on-
Instagram too. Yeah.
Okay. I see the Facebook thing I'm on there a bunch with the business, but
Yeah.
it's just a shitload of old photos from that era. They have a bunch of like Ratskeller parties from that time, so I bet there's some dudes that probably know what you're talking about. They might have been there.
And they'll probably tell me I'm wrong, and that's cool. I'm
Uh-huh.
piecing it together, but I figured I'd come up with some Gubby lore for
That's
you
a good
guys.
one.
That's sick. No, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we've been a little dry on the Gubby lore lately, so
Yeah, there haven't been
Coming
any
in.
submissions.
talking to Scott Steves, we might have one
Oh,
in
okay.
the works. So
Cool.
no pressure, Scott, but maybe next episode.
No one's called into the Govy hotline, though.
We gotta get Lex here to.
Oh, okay.
Find
No,
out.
he hasn't. Yeah.
Have you
Okay.
called into the Gubby?
I haven't left a voicemail, but like right when he dropped it, I was like, I was like, bullshit, is this real? And he got it. I was like, you son of a bitch, that's good.
Dude, it's pretty funny. It's good. But all right, fucking to the top of the issue here. Where are you from, and when did you start snowboarding? Where are you from originally? Leif and I were talking about it when
I
you were
said-
on here.
I said
way in here. I'm like, dude, I don't
Pennsylvania.
even know if I could call.
Am I
I
right?
don't know where George is from. No,
Close.
I've asked before.
Born and raised in Valparaiso, Indiana. So like northwest
okay.
Indiana, like this like little tiny sliver that's still on the central time zone.
Okay.
Less than an
Indiana.
hour away. Yeah, less than an hour away from downtown Chicago. I was like closer than most suburbs. to the
Okay.
city. Yeah.
So a little bit more in the Midwest than the
Midwest
East
is
Coast.
hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What was your local hill out there growing up?
So, may it rest in peace. Pines Peak Family Ski Area. It was 5 minutes away from where I grew up. Like, as soon as I could like walk, my mom had me on skis. But the first time I went snowboarding, I was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like total like Midwest story too, because it was like
Just like garbage dump tow hill kind of a resort.
Well, we had a fixed grip 4-seater, but the first time I ever boarded, and I actually did a lot of boarding in this family like farm property behind us. It was on this like ravine system that used to be an old orchard.
Okay.
So technically, the first time I went snowboarding, it was in a hayfield. Like,
Cool.
That sounds sick though.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it's good precursor for where you're riding now, which
So
is
there-
just like mega canyons.
I know.
There was some natural snow there?
Yeah.
Or did they make all the snow at the hill?
So this is going to get into the nitty gritty, but so like if you think of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, right? I
Yeah.
was like direct southern tip of Lake Michigan. So we'd get what's called lake effect snow. So
Okay, you've told me this before. It's
so we got
coming
a
back.
shit ton of snow when I
Yeah.
was growing up. Like
Okay.
guaranteed 3 or 4 like days off of school for like snow days.
Get
And,
like coastal dumps coming off of the Great Lakes.
yeah, dude, Lake Michigan like does good work.
Cool.
That's sick. When did you move out to Hood?
I moved out to Hood in July of 2016. Yeah.
From that area? Like, did you grew up out there and like started snowboarding back in Illinois and stuff, or?
Yeah, I did. Like, I grew up boarding in like the Midwest, and I did a lot. Like, I rode basically, I mean, everything around there that you can. But
Yeah,
I
because
did,
you guys probably have like a circuit out there that you do of like all the tow ropes and everything.
well, it was kind of before they really took off. Like, this was like when I left the Midwest is when they finally started getting their flowers and like getting, you know, the recognition they deserve. Like, I rode Troll before Troll blew up, and I remember being there for the first time, like my first time there, and being like, holy shit, how is everyone not coming here? Like, fast forward to, 15 years, everyone's going there now.
Yeah, now everyone knows about it.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
I was just asking about just filling the gap between starting snowboarding and coming to Hood for the first time. And I'm just thinking about all the East Coast tows and how we need to keep our toes secret. But
But no, I was in New Mexico before I moved here.
okay,
I did
Going
a
from-
season down in Taos, New Mexico. Yeah,
nice. How's that?
wild. So like I grew up riding park a shit ton in the Midwest. Obviously, what else are you gonna ride? But like after college, I had a couple of shitty seasons in the Midwest, getting hurt. Like gnarly concussion one year, blew out my shoulder the next, broke a hand the one after that. So I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna go learn how to actually ride big mountain. And I'm like, all right, I need to go get a job. I need to do this shit. And there's a new ski shop opening up down there. So I was like, all right, cool. It was an El Nino season. They were going to get puked on. It's one of the most technical resorts that you can ride in the U.S. So I just threw myself into it for a season.
What is it? Is it like big canyons kind of a thing?
Like
or
chutes, spines.
Okay.
Like it's the real deal. Like anyone who's listening, break out your phone if you're not, or put pause on this and look up Taos Ski Valley, New Mexico trail map. It is
So,
fucking wild.
and
I'm gonna
wasn't
have to check it
Taos
out.
ski only for a long time?
Yeah,
Am
they
I
did.
right on that?
You are.
And what year did they go to snowboard?
They legalized snowboarding in 2009.
Okay, so it was like 5 or so years after that you went there.
Yeah, I mean it's
Okay.
still predominantly skiers.
I would
like,
imagine so, right?
it felt like a
A lot of moguls.
I like how you
shit
said that
ton of
legalized snowboard. I bet there was a good ad campaign.
oh
I can picture the T-shirts for that one.
they did a whole campaign. They actually Taos put it on their Instagram, but it was like they did this whole thing. It was like free Taos.
Yeah,
which was
I
pretty sick,
remember
yeah.
all this. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your first time coming to Hood?
Oh,
Was it when you
I
moved here?
moved here? I had never been here, but I figured it's like if you are a skier or a snowboarder and you have not done a tour on Hood, like this is a part of the culture, right? Like
Yeah.
you got to do it. So I said, fuck it, and I was
Fuck
only
yeah.
gonna come here for a year.
Did
I
you
just
do
never
it?
left.
Did you do it in the summer after the Taos? Mm-hmm. You came out here to Mount Hood because you're just to keep the season going.
Yeah, well, also, like, I was trying to chase, like, a full-time year-round gig in the industry, and this is one of the few places you can do that without
Yeah.
being a rep, so,
Yeah. Cool.
just rolled the dice.
Did you start working at Timberline right away?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got hired in as a buyer that summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What were your thoughts on Hood first summer?
it's so you know you have this vision built up in your head, right? Because you're just watching High Cascade and Wendell's videos and all that shit. And I roll up and I'm like, I want to go ride that park. And it's like, no, you didn't pay for that park.
Oh, there.
So we were riding Public, but Public was sick. It was super fun. I loved it. The culture was sick.
What year is this again?
2016.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was before it all like conglomerated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I had fun. I was super stoked on it. I was just happy to keep the season going, and everything was new and shiny, and I was jazzed. And yeah, Hood's still to this day super sick. It just all depends on how you ride it.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's like there's probably obviously like benefits and downsides to not having the lane anymore or the lanes for camp, which I'm sure we're going to talk about a shitload on this thing, but it is kind of nice now just being able to fully access it, and everyone's kind of in one spot rather than like having to stare across the fence at like everyone having a good time over there, not being able to go join in on it.
It's just a little more difficult to poach it if you don't have a ticket, because back then you just roll in like you own the joint and like act like you knew what you were doing, and people didn't stop. Because I kid you not, I probably poached 2-3 days a week when I first moved out here into those lanes. But now it's like if you don't have that pro pass,
the FTC lockdown.
Yeah, like it's not saying that like I need that access all the time. Like that's not my goal in the summer, but like I can't even get in unless I go get a letter and go through it and do all that shit. And it's just weird.
Sure.
I should be giving people their proper shout outs for the questions I'm asking. That question was brought to you by Gold Dome.
So,
he wanted to know where you were from.
So then how many years into being at Hood did you start Friday?
That was, I didn't start Friday till 2020.
Okay. Did you have a couple other brands that you were kind of dabbling in before Friday?
Yeah, so Friday is kind of funny. I hate to say it, but I kind of backed into it. Like I'd always had that childhood dream of starting a brand. But I was working on a goggle brand at the time.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, just like, and then when it came down to like really dialing it in, I was talking to talking to the factory and just like, hey, how many other brands around the world are you guys working with that are doing, these 3 goggles I wanted to do? And it was like 50 to 60 each.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, cool. Everyone else has done what I did during COVID shutdown. You're trying to start a brand. And I had already got the ball rolling on some boards because I broke like 4 or 5 boards that season.
Okay.
So I was like, well, fuck, I might as well put my own brand on a board.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, well, this is all making sense. Why the fuck don't I just make boards?
Did you want to do the boards as the same brand as the goggle brand, or was it separate?
That was just supposed to be like a promo thing. I had no intention
to make boards
scaling. Yeah.
Okay, as a promo for the goggle brand. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you just started riding them yourself and liked them, right?
Yeah,
I would say
that's kind of how it. Yeah. Like
this is like winter of 2020. Are we talking like?
No, this was probably April or March of 2020 when I really started getting the ball rolling on it.
Okay, yeah, so it makes sense, right? When COVID like locked down and everything.
Ton of time.
So during that time period. That's before DGS happened, right? Because Lex cited you as being one of the main people that helped him get DGS started, because it sounded like Friday, like you had already done, got established and kind of figured everything out, and then you went kind of held the hand of DGS and showed him how to get going in it too.
Yeah, I always kind of look at it this way, like when it comes to it, because I remember talking to Lex about it. I don't share my factories like that I use, and I use a couple, and that's just, I keep that close to my chest, and I look at it from a standpoint of, I spent 4 months and a shit ton of time and money trying out sample boards and all that other shit from other factories, and I look at it like that's me studying for the test. So when it comes test time, I'm like, I'm not going to let you cheat off my answers and like give you all that shit if you're not going to put in that legwork. So what I did was I gave Lex like a blueprint on how to go about finding what he needs to find. And how, like, what, like,
you taught him how to fish rather than giving him a fish, kind of a thing.
Yeah. But like, he would have figured it out himself. Lex is crafty
100%.
as fuck. Like, that dude's got good shit going on.
It's more just like, that's cool that that's the culture of all the companies out here, is it's like very like, let's help each other.
Yeah, and it's
Have you gone and visited your factories, or do you want to?
I've done a couple virtual walkthroughs with them.
Okay.
Like over FaceTime. But the goal was either it was this year or it's next year to do that and couple it with a trip to Japan too.
Okay. Because I've heard that's pretty important to maybe go meet those people in person. What do you think?
It definitely is. Like, one of my big stipulations, like right off the rip, is like you need to be able to do a virtual walkthrough, but it's not like a scheduled one. I want to just like hop on during one of our meetings, be like, cool, turn your camera on, let's walk.
Yeah, so it's a little realistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do a lot of stuff virtually. So for a new brand, you
You're
don't
not
have to
getting,
go
like,
out
the
there.
North Korea tour of the factory of like
Yeah.
everything's like, here's our fake fruit in the window kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Did someone point you in the direction of the factory you used, or you just did a bunch of research online and did some samples and you've had them printed through a couple different factories over the years, right? With the samples and stuff, or have you always gone with the same person?
No, I've sampled out from 6 or 7 factories.
Okay.
So you've really done your research. It's not like you
Fuck
just
yeah.
were like, I'm gonna start a board company, Google China board brand, be
Yeah,
like
no.
click print, here's my credit card. Like you're doing this the way someone should go about doing this.
What were some of the
awesome.
differences in the factory's production that you liked or maybe didn't like, without telling them who it was?
Like from a production standpoint, like
What made you decide to go with someone versus someone else?
board longevity. Like, I
Okay.
don't give a fuck if a board's light. I don't give a fuck if, it has some trademarked bullshit, fucking 18 different quadrilaser side cut thing. Like, I don't need any of that fancy tech bullshit. Like, I want to be able to stand behind the product and make sure it fucking lasts.
Yeah, and not have to do a bunch of warranties and stuff too.
Dude, I will testament to that. This board
Yeah.
behind me right here, I got from George
Yeah, they're-
3 seasons ago, and have been riding it.
Yeah, they
death.
definitely
Only
the Friday
30
boards
something
definitely
times
last.
this year, I guess. But yeah, no, dude. It's
So
like,
you were just testing the boards
won't
and having
die.
the riders test them, and kind of if they didn't last as long, you maybe try someone else or.
Yeah, so I hate to say it because I didn't. So I got to give two shout outs real quick. One to Ben Comfort, 2 to Bryce Lovren. I started Friday with those 2.
Yeah, I remember it was a
Yeah.
group
Group
brand.
project out the
Yeah,
gate.
yeah,
And it was just us 3 testing. And the big reason that like I wasn't branching out, like, 1, I wasn't trying to put the cart ahead of the horse, and 2, Bryce and I are like, he and I used to kind of sit down at his couch in Welch's and just like bitch about boards because like. At the time, he probably had 40 or 50 snowboards in his living room, the majority of which that he broke in a short period of time. And this was at the time, too. It's like I broke 4 to 5 boards by March or April of 2020. So it's like, yeah, I do want to get people's feedback on it. But if I'm blasting through 4 to 5 boards a season, and these weren't like cheapos either, like I'll just call it out right now. I bought an Assassin Pro at the beginning of that year. That board didn't last 30
Solomon?
days. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a $600 like high-end twin. I broke
and yeah, you and Bryce and Ben are pretty big guys.
Yeah.
6 feet tall or whatever.
Yeah,
So good testers.
It's literally went out every day. I'm like, how am I gonna fucking break this board?
yeah, that and no warranty on that thing or anything like that.
I mean, factories do offer a warranty depending on who you work with and what goes on, which is really nice. So you can pass that. But knock on wood, like I'm gonna just put this out there and hopefully it doesn't fuck me. But I'm running a less than 2% warranty. Or less than 2% of our inventory has come back via warranty. And that's not just like crafty wording in our warranty. It's like literally like people don't hit me up saying shit.
And you sell a decent amount of snowboards on Mount Hood, like in the area, especially.
Yeah.
Like,
So a couple
I see a
hundred boards
lot
a
of
year.
Friday boards out there.
So Friday's about 5 years old now.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
so.
Congrats.
Thank you. 5 years in existence, 4 years selling to to the public. So next year
I was kind of pulling out the board stack to kind of bring some stuff in to decorate with today, and I was like pulling out my old Friday boards. I'm like, they're starting to have a collection of old Friday boards in here. It's pretty sick.
Yeah,
It still feels like a fresh new company though.
Yeah,
So,
What you got? The
Appreciate that.
Public Enemy is what you ride?
that's the one I'm on right now. Yeah,
Okay.
157
Yeah, and that's
wide.
like 2 or 3 years old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You do the wide boards, which is sick. I don't think I can go back.
What's
have
the
a size
most
10.
popular size board?
153, the Public Enemy.
Okay.
Like every year I order more and more of those,
Good
and I still
safe
sell
park
out.
size.
That's what I am, 152 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What's
Incredibly common.
a lot of people ask this. What does the name Friday derive from?
So this all kind of ties together with what I was saying earlier about trying to break boards and all that, right? So it got to the point where I was doing the math on it, where it's like if I was buying all these boards full fucking price, I'd be shelling out $3+ grand a year just to ride, and that's fucking bullshit. And I wasn't spending that. I was getting pro form. I was getting plugged up here and there, and like, incredibly thankful for that. But like that's completely unsustainable, right? And I had a real big issue with that. So Friday, the name was, you know, between the three of us, we came to the conclusion that's like the whole idea of the brand was like to be an every man or every person's board. It's supposed to be affordable. It's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be bang for buck. And, you know, just your everyday consumer, what's the best day of the week? It's Friday. You're off of work. It's typically payday. So it's just like typically people have that knee-jerk reaction like, oh, Friday's a good day.
Fridays. It doesn't bring up a bad thing. You're just like, fuck yeah, it's Friday.
Unless you hear that Rebecca Black song, Friday.
Damn. Fuck. No,
Well, that's one of the board names, though. You utilized it.
Yeah, shout out Ricky Hauer for that one. I didn't connect those two. He's like, you got to do that. And I was like, oh, shit, you are so right.
Yeah. And then all the boards are camber, or
Yep.
okay. What's your stance on camber, flat, rocker? Would you ever make boards in a different profile, or do you want to just go camber for now?
So fun fact, they don't see the light of day, but there are Fridays out there that are hybrid profile.
Okay.
And that's because at the beginning, it's like, I knew what my preferences were, but it's like, I needed to branch out, and I've ridden thousands of snowboards, right? And it's like, well, let me try it out. Let me test, like sample the goods. Like, let's see what's up.
Yeah.
And the thing that I have found with anything other than camber is that it becomes an inconsistent ride and a slow ride too. So being on hoods, I don't care who the fuck who's gonna question me on this. You're fucking wrong. Mountain Hood's flat. Just inherently,
Especially
it's flat.
Timberline, right?
Especially Timberline.
Yeah.
Pretty flat pitch.
And if it's not flat, you're gonna go into a steep, then into a flat, right? So speed is key. So if you think about camber, right, and how it like kind of sits. So when you engage in camber, you flatten it out depending on how many mils of camber. So that is as a straight line, that's gonna be the path of least resistance. Whereas hybrid camber, when engaged, it's still not gonna be smooth. And then the same thing with flat and rocker, right? A flat board, when engaged with weight going through an edge, turns into a rockered board, and a rockered board is just a fucking snowplow. So they're slow, and I don't want to do slow. I want boards to be fast as shit, which is why we do like sintered bases. The other thing is, I'm really keen on 3 to 4 millimeters of camber. So that tends to be that kind of happy spot, so that it has all the characteristics that you want out of camber. It's got hella pop. It's got everything you need. It's consistent. It's stable. And then again, when you put your weight into it, it doesn't bow out, and it doesn't fight you to the point where it's still sitting there. It's just flat, just absolutely least amount of resistance.
Okay. Yeah.
I like what you're working with. I'm just sitting here thinking about. I'm like, you know what? Now that you mention it, it does feel really good. Like,
but you've ran
that
a
is
couple
really nice
samples
camber.
that are hybrids, and
Yeah.
just to test them out, right?
Had a couple hybrid Reaper twins that came out that we rode. Those broke incredibly quick.
Okay.
And it was right after, so it's like they were camber underfoot, rocker in between, and they had a little bit of early rise.
Okay.
And right where that early rise kicked is like just fucking cracked real quick.
Huh.
There's also, this was not my design, but there's one of the early factories had a fully rockered pow board. That was, it was fun. I actually, like, believe it or not, I had a lot of fun riding it because it was something different that I had to figure out. But I remember like riding it on a pow day at Ski Bowl and being like, oh, I can't go fast enough. Like I'm just plowing through that shit.
What is it that gives it the I know I've learned this before, but remind me of that gives it the rocker or the camber? Is it the core, the shape of the
How it's
core,
pressed,
or is it
yeah.
the stringers?
It's on the press, the mold itself.
Okay.
So it kind of pressurizes
It's all like
it.
flat, and then when they put it into the press and combine everything, that's when it actually becomes like rocker, camber, hybrid, whatever it's going to be.
Correct.
Okay.
And real quick, the whole like measurement on the camber thing, like I don't want to say stole it, but I got inspiration from Gentum sticks on that, because they have like their surf camber profile, right, and they're keen on 3 to 4, and I'd ridden a lot of jib boards with 3 and knew how that worked. So
It's like, oh, that must be the sweet spot. Let's just start there.
yeah, and it's like I was like looking, I was like, shit, that
What is it? Gentum Sticks is a
Gentum
snowboard
sticks.
brand?
Yeah, so it's a surf-inspired snowboard brand out of Japan. Like,
Okay.
it's like the upper echelon of boards. They're like $1,200.
On that
Cool.
note,
I haven't heard of it.
so that's all. That's
Check
the
'em out,
park
they're
boards.
sick.
What makes a good powder board, in your opinion? Because
Yeah.
I like that Friday does that.
So
That seems to be more your
where
where
I'm
you're
headed.
pulled towards.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I will. This is not many people know this. I haven't actually stepped foot on a twin in 2 seasons.
Okay.
I've been jibbing directions.
who was it? I think Stj was like, "Is it true that you turned 30 and forgot how to jib?"
No, but I turned 30 and forgot how to grab stale fish.
That happens.
That does happen.
All of a sudden, it's hard to reach.
No, I'm still jibbing Steege. Don't worry.
No, you're nice with it.
But no twin tips.
No, don't need it.
Okay.
But in regards to pow boards, so I did that like limited executive collection, right? And that was kind of an outlier to test the waters, just to kind of see what customers, like customer feedback.
And what was that? What was that again?
So the executive collection was a pre-order collection I released this year, and none of them were my shapes. They were, well, long story behind that, but they were open molds at the time. Do you familiar with that term?
Like just general molds that the factory offers?
The factory is like,
okay.
hey, you can slap your name on this blank.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had that. They'd approached me the year prior, like, hey, we got all these open molds. Do you want to try them out? And I wrote them, and I was like, they're fine, that they need a little bit more to them, right? Mm-hmm. So we fucked around, did a couple rounds of samples, changing up where the stringers were, the internals, all that. And then I did a pre-order only release of them. They were kind of like some more obscure shapes, but all three of them were blunted noses, and that's something I stay away from. And they did okay. They sold through well, and I know the people that have them like them. Like, I've enjoyed riding them, but discontinuing them because they just don't quite align with what I want moving forward. So getting into what makes a good pow board, I'm going to tell you first and foremost, it's you got to look at the shape, and specifically the nose shape. So you'll notice on the Bandwidth and the OG, Bandwidth has a rounded nose, kind of like an old school skate deck, and then the OG has a pointed nose. Mm-hmm. Neither of those nose shapes really push for maximum float, but they do well with speed, right? So when you have a blunted nose to a board, right, it is designed to pop you up. Well, if you are constantly porpoising, you're losing speed. So I take the approach of, I want something to slice like a hot knife through butter, right? So like that OG doesn't have that's not the greatest for float, but it's fast as fuck. Like, even if you are a couple inches under the snow, you are still cruising faster than your buddy that's got, a blunted situation behind you.
That's very true. That's how it feels. That's how it rides.
Totally.
Exactly what you're describing.
So like, I'm big on smooth lines. I don't like, the other thing is, and this is like kind of gets into the weird part of it, is like how it tracks in the snow, right? So if you start paying attention to like your boards when you're riding on POW, you'll notice that the more stubby noses, the bigger, wider noses, they kind of have a little bit of a hitch to them. And I love the folks that ride. I got, they're fantastic people. But one of the most atrocious shapes in my eyes is the War Pig, because it's got those really hard lines on the nose and tail. And it, like, respectfully, it tracks like dog shit in the snow. So it's like having those smooth lines, like the board, like objectively, like snowboards are supposed to be sexy in some capacity. Like they need some smooth lines, right? Like, so doing that hitchy shit, not only does it give you a subpar riding experience, like it also just doesn't look good. So I don't know if that answers the question.
And you're running camber on the lineup for the POW boards with Friday?
Yeah, and they're all set back camber. So that new gimmick too is coming out for next year, that 163. Took it, like I said, smooth lines, rounded tip and tail. But that's going to be the first board that I'm really fucking around with early rise. So even if you dive into the specs of that, one of the big things is a reduced effective edge. So what that does is it creates like the flat spots kind of at the contact point with a little bit of early rise. And doubling down on that, because it's got a reduced effective edge, you can also run a tighter side cut radius, but still having a super wide waist width. So there's also, but again, all camber all the time.
Okay. I can tell you spend a lot of time in the shop.
Dude,
and researching snowboard.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. You know your stuff, George. All right.
So for this, so you have new boards coming out this fall, right?
Correct.
And it's going to be 4 different shapes, is it?
Yep. So dialed it back for this year. So we'll have the Public Enemy Twin, OGs, that like carving side hit, a little bit of POW, Bandwidths, the ATV, and then the gimmicks, that new POW board. So 4 in total.
Okay, cool. Probably out in October, November.
Hopefully, I'm trying to get closer to August or September.
Okay.
Is typically the goal to get it out and get it out sooner. But if it gets in by Halloween, I'm stoked, because we don't kick off.
When did you place that order?
Oh, months ago.
Okay, so it takes about like 8 months or something.
6 to 8, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's
it's a lot of time in the ahead of time that you really are thinking about it, though, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy like world to live in. While come fall, it's like, yes, like I'm trying to push boards. Yes, we're trying to get the season started, and also yes, I'm looking at what I'm gonna do for the next
next year. Yeah, exactly. You're really on top of it.
I've been trying to not talk about anything other than kick-ass escapism snowboarding on this, but to bring some like real world shit in, like we were kind of talking about tariffs before we hit record on this, and like that directly affects you as someone who is purchasing from, you're importing.
Yep.
A lot
China.
of factories are in China. If you want to talk about that, or like what you anticipate, because you're saying that you did this, the drop that's about to happen has already kind of, you have to do that so ahead of time that that's already kind of been done. You might have skirted that through before everything is, the tariffs hit. But is that going, what do you see that doing to the industry and
I mean, it's going to be
Friday and all that stuff?
Sorry. It's gonna be interesting, right? It's because no matter how you feel, like I don't care who you voted for, or how you feel about politics, like the geopolitical climate is fucked. Everyone, like the market just took a tank. All like global markets took a tank, right? And consumer, confidence is, at least in the States, is, I would say, at an all-time low. Doubling down on all of that pessimism right there, like they just rolled out a shit ton of big tariffs, and I don't care, like even if you're producing stateside, like the fact of the matter is everything's going to become more expensive, especially in like our world, right? So like even if you look at someone like a factory like Never Summer where they do produce stateside, like they don't get everything from the US. Thankfully they, the Canadian tariffs got blocked, at least for the interim, but everything's just going to become more expensive. Most of the big brands import, like Burton has a factory in China, Ride K2 have factories in China, like GP87, like I think the biggest snowboard and ski manufacturer in the world, China. So you're going to have that, and even if they roll that stuff back to a point, like you're just going to see everyone's costs go up, and even if your cost doesn't go up a whole hell of a lot, why the fuck wouldn't they charge you more? Because everything else is, like, I look at it this way, and it's like if I were, big brand, and I'm producing all my shit stateside, and everyone else is importing it, and you see a 20, 30, 40% bump on prices across the board, right, to the end consumer. You're crazy if you think that the brand's not going to charge you more. Why the fuck? Like, there's no strategic advantage to undercutting anyone when you can add that margin. There's that on top of the fact that the one thing I think everyone keeps fucking forgetting is the fact no one's going to roll back prices. So let's say
it's kind of just it keeps getting ratcheted, and it's not going to really ratchet back.
Does it?
The odds are not high that any price on anything ever gets ratcheted back.
No, never.
But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting to look at.
So what's your plan to deal with the tariffs? Is to increase the pricing a little bit?
A minimal amount, but I'm going to eat most of
You're
it.
Okay, yeah. Just because you're a small kind of starting up brand, you're just going to take the loss and
what do you think?
Still get the boards out there to people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of overhead. So like my big thing is, and I'll peel the curtain back a little bit, like I don't sell a whole hell of a lot of, like, the majority of my sales aren't full price. Like I'll take ownership in that, right? So
yeah, you're probably not selling to many people that aren't, like, at some point your homie.
Yeah,
returning customers and stuff, right?
Returning customers are my number one customer.
Yeah,
right
and you
now,
cut those people a little bit of a deal and hope they come back
Absolutely.
next year in 2 years.
And I'm stoked when they do.
Right.
And if Friday's not your thing, like, I hope you gift it or get it to a homie that's gonna rip the shit out of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing is this. It's like, I'm not trying to make $1 million off of it. I'm trying to supply quality shit to a community that doesn't typically get a good deal on a quality board.
It's awesome to have. My first time meeting you was here in BDK, and it was shortly after you started Friday. I think it might have been before the boards were in production.
Probably.
I forget exactly, but I remember coming in. I was just buying skate stuff, saw you in here, said what's up, and you told me a little bit about what was going on with it. I'm like, dude, that's so sick. I'm like, I remember saying, I'm like, I would love to support a Mount Hood-based snowboard company. Like, that's so awesome, because we had, like, Deviation was around, and then I don't know what happened, but it seems like
I think they're still running. Deviation
around,
works.
I feel like
yeah.
it kind of like ran its thing a little bit, and then I don't know. We just needed it. The time was due. So like, thank you for coming in and creating it. And like, now it almost feels like we take it for granted. We have like so many cool companies in the area here, and you helped to get some of them going.
What's the
humbled by that? Thank you.
Yeah.
What's the price range looking like for next year for the Public Enemy? It's like $350, $400, something like that.
So it's gonna sound so stupid because I woke up this morning and like saw the final word on tariffs, and I'm like, I think they're gonna dial them back, but I don't see them going any lower than 20%. So, I mean, I will likely raise board prices about $50 a pop.
Okay.
But I'm still dropping pre-orders tomorrow. So by the time this is out, pre-orders will be firing. And
cool.
The big thought was, it's like, do I reduce the discount on pre-orders, or do I, bump the price on boards? And like, kind of just looking at the numbers on it, I think you're going to see about $50 more per board.
Okay. So what's going on with the pre-order? Is that a week or two, or how do people look into that?
So, looking into it, just look at the Instagram, or the website for sure.
You're selling on the website though, right?
Yeah, all on the website. It's going to be $100 off of retail, and then swag pack, and swag pack's always kind of determined a little bit closer to the time, depending on what's. But
you get $100 off the board if you buy it now, and you'll get it in early fall.
Yeah, and it's guaranteed. I mean, I sell out of sizes every year.
Like, great swag pack, by the way. I don't know what's in this one yet, but historically, I've had great swag packs. And,
appreciate that.
Everyone else is like very. I don't know if loud's the right word, because it sounds like it's not celebratory, but everyone else is like very like forefront with their marketing. And I feel like Friday is almost more like the product speaks for it to some degree. But the marketing's awesome. Like the stickers that you have, like, I don't know, I've got a bunch of them on here. Like, you got some great sleeper stickers that I feel like don't get the light of day that they need.
Do you think other brands are doing pre-orders a lot, or are most just selling them when they get them?
Well, so, I mean, if you look at it at a big brand perspective, most of them are doing pre-books to shops. So
shops, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's like, for example, like in my world with outerwear, right? Like we were talking Volcom before this, and I had my Volcom order placed in January.
Sure.
Like end of December, January for next season. So like I did the same thing with Ride. I did the same thing with Public, all of them. So like bigger brands have that pre-book in place to begin with. And the only time you really see much on pre-orders, like smaller brands like my size, like Goon Gear.
He does some direct to consumer where if you order early, you get a little discount or some free stuff, right?
Yeah, dude, shout out to them. They got a phenomenal program rolling.
Yeah,
they do that well.
Okay, cool.
We gotta get Goon Gear.
Seems like a good. It seems like a good idea as a small brand to offer it ahead of time, so you can get some orders down, and then you can sell some once you get the product too.
Who's doing your graphics?
That's all me these days.
You? Okay.
So the one behind you with the ski patroller on it, that was one of my childhood, still one of my best friends to this day, Blake Hickey. He's out of South Beach now, but we grew up skating, snowboarding, wakeboarding together. Like first job at a shop was a shop in Michigan called the Borderline. We worked there, and it was totally just like, every day it was like, all right, cool, wake up, get baked, go to work, and like we're drawing like, oh, like how cool would it be to put this on a snowboard or a skateboard or that. So I got a chance to like collab with him on that, but it got to the point where it's like everyone's like, yo, those graphics are sick, and I'm like, thanks. It was like kind of my idea, but like I'm not the one who put that effort in. So I was like, fuck this. Like I'm gonna, again, similar to how I threw myself into finding a factory, I was like, I'm gonna learn Illustrator again. Like I'm gonna learn how to do all this. So from here on out, like it's me.
It's just easier just to handle it all and just get out. And
yeah, it also gives me time to pivot. So like I have a bad habit of creating graphics that coincide with other brands. So 2 years ago, I walk into a show, like a buying show, right? And I already had all
it's
my
kind of like that
stuff.
group think, like the snowboarding group think, where it's like you think you have an original thing, and they're like, motherfucker, it's like, it's just this big group thing.
Someone else did it.
Yeah.
Well, like I walk into the show and I'm like,
so we're all sharing the same inspirations and stuff.
Totally is. I can talk more about that too in the game, but like I walked in and I saw like I had the exact same board that Ride came in with a different color. I walk over to the Rome booth. I'm like, fuck, I got a Rome board too. Then I walk over, I'm like, God damn it, Public, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool, back to the drawing board. And then it was, and then it got to that was the year that I came out with like all the Rasta Bozung shit. I woke up like 2:30 one morning and just like fuming because I'm like, how do I have this creative block? And I'm like going through messages with like Keegan, CC, Riley, all of them, and I'm like we were talking about some old school shit. It's like, fuck, dude, like let's do a Bozung graphic.
Yeah.
And then just kind of leaned real heavily into that Tech 9 inspo, and I'll go on the record and say Tech 9's fucking dead. So someone's got to carry that torch at least for a season. So
there we go.
I tried.
What were
you can see the inspo. It's good in a good way, in a healthy way. I love it.
What were the graphics that were like similar that you saw from Ride? And or, I don't know if you want to know. Do you remember one of them?
It was. So I was. Yeah. The Rome one was funny because I kind of went down like not necessarily a rabbit hole, but like I was kind of fucking around with some of that like ancient history stuff, kind of like Connor's into.
Uh-huh.
Like I definitely dabble in that world.
I've been YouTubing lately.
Yeah, it's
We
good.
can go there if you want.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
We don't have the
one.
time for it today, but
But it was like this like duality one, right? Where it was like I had AI create these two pyramids, like kind of like a yin and a yang, like a happy and a sad pyramid.
Yeah.
And then I did this like offset divisional line with the white and the black and all that. And then I came in and it like came
it's
into
actually
the show.
really sick.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's just, and I was like, all right, cool. Like,
That
we're
sucks
rolling.
that someone else like swooped in or like
They had a similar-
one. Yeah.
The color scheme and the pyramid thing was all the same. It didn't have that same yin and yang duality
Uh-huh.
situation, but it was like, dude, I can't like, again, it's like people, like I know enough people in the industry where it's like, if I bite something or I have something super similar,
Yeah,
like
you don't want that.
I'm gonna have someone walking up, be like, what the fuck, dude? What
Yeah.
did you do that for? You saw this. And it's like, no, dude, I changed it.
So another thing,
That's funny.
where does Connor Carroll stand with the brand? Because he's been repping you all year.
My mom's gonna love this. Says, when is the Connor Carroll print
Yeah.
model gonna drop?
Is that can you talk about that, or is it?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's a real team.
But he's been repping your brand all year.
Yeah,
riding the Public Enemy, right?
The fact
Yeah,
that you can't
yeah.
talk
Okay.
about it is exciting.
Yeah, it's well, again, it's this whole. Go back to the tariffs thing.
That's where the $50 is actually going, you guys.
To Connor.
Straight to the dolphin.
Yeah, no, it's not that I'm like trying to withhold info. It's just like I don't put the cart ahead of the horse.
Okay.
But Connor is forever and always
It's
the
sick
homie.
to see him riding
Yeah.
on it.
And
Rips the shit out of
you
it.
gave him some free boards this year, but he's not like paid riding for you or anything.
Dude, I'm so small right now. I can't.
Yeah.
afford- like I'm not like again. Peel
No,
back
I
the
think
curtain,
it
I don't pay
shows.
myself.
I think it shows a lot that given the choice and the kid could ride anything, he's gonna go.
No,
ride
I think
your
it's
shit,
it's been sick
you
to
know,
see him
which is
riding
tight.
your boards this year.
I am, dude. It never ceases to humble me on how like people riding my boards, people doing cool shit on it.
Yeah,
It's
who is
awesome.
the coolest person that's ever rode Friday? Do you have? I mean, I know it's a lot of the homies, but has there been anyone that's like surprised you, or even maybe hit you up that being stoked on the brand? Maybe they aren't
Oh.
riding it, but propped you out. Who was that?
I got you one. Sammy Carlson.
Okay.
So Paul plugged him up on a rental a couple summers ago, and he took the Rebecca Black to the Summit of Hood.
I think I might have been working at the rental shop when you came by. I remember that.
That's sick.
Okay, yeah, and he liked it.
Yeah, he liked it. He didn't
Okay.
like. I'll call him out on this. Like he was fucking dismissive of me. I went up and I introduced myself. I'm like, hey,
He
like,
cool
do
guyed
know-"
you?
Yeah, like he cool guyed me in the hallway and like half-ass turned his back to me to buy a fucking Gatorade out of the vending machine. Like Sammy's the shit. Like don't get it twisted. Like I've had some
That's
really
awesome.
good interactions with him, but like right off the rip, I got cool guy
Yeah?
hard. And like
That's sick.
okay.
He probably did. Did he know?
I was like, hey, dude, like, my name's George. Like, I saw you riding that Friday. That's actually my brand. Like, I just want to say, like, thanks for riding it. I heard you liked it. And he's like, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like, I shoot a board
Yeah.
for the day, guy.
Fucking skiers, man.
Fucking skiers,
That's
man.
funny. Well, it's 16 Riley on him also. It's 16 CC on him.
Yeah,
60
who else is
fucking
who else
murders.
is on the official team for Friday?
Well, so this season, Riley, CC, Keegan, and like we just kind of kept it clean and simple like that. And the rationale behind it is like, I'm gonna put this out there. It's like requirements to be on the team. It's like you got to be like working or hustling or doing something like full time. Like basically you're either in school, you're either working, you're doing that because it's like
Outside of snowboarding.
outside of
Okay.
snowboarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want someone that has that drive and that work ethic that's going to be like, no, like this is what I'm doing. And then the free time gets to be snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got people like, like Keegan, for example, right? Keegan doesn't ride a whole hell of a lot. But when Keegan shows up, Keegan goes at it. Riley's been gone for most of the winter, right? He was overseas, like doing some school stuff, right? He comes back and he's out, or he's already fucking swinging for it. So it's like having that separation to where it's like I can't support someone or send someone boards, like if they're just like living out of their car kind of thing. And that's no discredit to that. I respect it. Like, dude, get your grind on, hustle the way that it makes sense
More
for
of
you.
supporting mentality.
Yeah, like it's just like if you're gonna like have that blue collar work ethic, or at least whether you're working in an office or at a construction site, dude, like that's who I want representing the brand.
Is there anyone else you want to put on, or?
We're gonna have to see, dude, because like, I mean, what we were talking. I mean, we can circle back if you guys want to do this, but like, one of the big things that we're seeing right now in the industry is like the post-COVID bubble. Like, the COVID bubbles popped.
Mm-hmm.
So like everyone's narrowing product lines. Everyone's like narrowing everything. You're seeing team riders from big brands
Seeing
get
more
cut.
cuts than you are additions.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and like.
True.
I mean, in the retail side of things, it's like, dude, it's writing's on the wall for me. So it's like, it's a tough time to try to expand.
Yeah. Yeah. So just rocking with the original members and
With the core and
Yep.
you know, again, there's a couple other, you know, irons in the fire right now, but we're just gonna see what happens.
And there's a lot of kind of free marketing out there too. If people buy your boards and then get clips or whatever, they're kind of promoting it in their own way too.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say,
kind of that.
hit up Riley for your Thai massage needs.
yeah.
He just graduated, and I was talking about the toe. He's out doing Thai massage. So
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Someone's listening, probably sore.
Yeah, it's seriously, dude. Hit him up. He'll
Yeah.
kill your ailments, man.
That's sick.
What about shops and the boards? Because we sell a couple here at BDK. Are there a couple other shops or no other? Is that somewhere you want to go or not really? You just want to stay direct to consumer?
The nice thing about DTC is that it allows me to like make a larger margin, so it gives me more wiggle room on the back end to hook people up and go that route. In regards to shops, I have a couple shops in mind, but like obviously BDK like is a core shop. It supports the scene. Like there's definitely been conversations with other companies or other shops and all that. It's just I'm not at a point to roll out like a pretty substantial wholesale program.
Yeah.
If the right shop approaches me, fuck yeah, I'll figure something out, right?
Is that the next step in growth for you as a company, or for Fridays? Do you
Totally.
feel like is to kind of go from being a local thing to more of like a regional, national brand?
I mean, like scaling wise, yeah. Like I see there's an immense amount of value, right, in supporting shops.
Let me back up and give people the credits that they want, because we're asking all the questions that everyone else asked, and I'm giving them no credit. This was Turn Sean 1 says, "What are your goals with the company?" Also, you
Sean's
have the
the
best boards around.
Yeah, he's an avid Friday homie. He rips the shit out of the swallowtails. He's I'm pretty sure he's Tahoe, Mammoth area.
Okay, fuck
he
yeah.
used to come up to the toe and all that shit too. He's homie.
Fuck yeah.
Who's
Well,
the
he wants
who's
to
the
know
best?
What are your goals for the company?
Okay. I was gonna say,
Unless you
who's the
got something.
best Friday supporter? Like, do you have one person?
Off the top of my head, it's Kyle, and his last name starts with an S, and I feel so bad. I can't pronounce it.
Is it Northwest Skate Flake?
Yes.
Kyle Suden? Yeah, I don't know what
yeah.
his last
Sorry,
name
Kyle.
is. But yeah, shout him out. Okay,
Kyle's
so
the-
Kyle's tight.
fucking
Kyle supports
homie.
the podcast too. He's
Ripping border. He's stoked
a
about.
good dude.
Like,
Great person in the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I do always see him riding Fridays.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
again
that's a
humbled by
good
that.
shout out.
I mean, yeah, that dude's rad.
Hey man, the missus. I think
Yeah,
Numbuck's on
dude,
it also.
Totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she grabbed one of the.
Got to make junior sizes soon.
Oh well,
They got a youngin coming through.
that's on the docket down the line. So
Yeah.
would
So
be
what are
sick.
the
We do
goal?
need
What
those.
are the goals long term?
I mean, long-term goals, it's like sustainable growth. Like I don't want to have to be in the bank for long. Definitely want to start branching out to shops, but specifically like more core-oriented shops. Like direct-to-consumer is great, but there's that lack of support, like by not supporting shops.
Yeah.
In that same way, and then just kind of letting it organically grow from there. I'm big on organic growth and not like that false growth with marketing. Excuse me. Like I know a lot of companies like they put out a subpar product, but they're great at marketing.
They make people look cool riding it and stuff.
And then someone gets aboard and they're fucking bummed. Like look at Gilson, right? So Gilson just shoves marketing stuff down your throat, right? And it's like, oh, this board does all of this. They're the buttiest boards, and they do this weird thing where they raise the edges so you don't actually have it. It's like it's a whole marketing scheme, right? And then you see the boards in person, you feel them like they're fine, but you see the actual shapes, and it's like that's whack. And everyone I've ever known who's ridden one, they're like, dude, this thing's a piece of shit. It's like you got God on the marketing side. So I've always felt that it's like if you're gonna be a snowboard brand, or at least from my aspect of it, it's like you need to be product driven first and foremost. And if your product's a gimmick, or you don't give a shit about that quality, it's like you're just doing the scene.
Yeah, you're gonna be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, totally. And they're a dime a dozen in this game.
What do you think about producing boards domestically? Like, I think Deviation does produce their boards in
Yeah, isn't it in
Portland or
Beaverton?
whatever. Yeah, and I've always wondered what the cost difference is of doing that yourself versus other places. And like, you stop me if you want to, but
No, go for it. Let's do it.
I don't know. I'm just like, well, I wonder if this is an opportunity to maybe try to bring stuff home or like produce it here. Is that even something that's plausible?
It's totally plausible. I have definitely toyed around with it many times over the years. I've ran the numbers time and time again. The one big thing, like I just was saying, is like being focused on the product and the quality of the product. Like my factory is the main factory I work with. It's been pressing boards for over a decade. So it's like for me to fast track that level of experience.
Try to replicate it in your garage or something.
Yeah, like it's it's not going to. It has a lower likelihood of coming out with that same quality, so there's a shit ton of trial and error. The other thing you want to talk about costs. First thing, sourcing raw materials entirely stateside, it's going to be a push, right? Like, so now we're dealing with the tariffs again. You're also looking at like, just business scales, right? So my factory's working with a bunch of different brands, right? So they buy their cores in bulk, their edges in bulk, their epoxy in bulk. Like I can't do that. Like I'm only putting out a couple hundred boards a year. If you're pumping out, a couple thousand boards a year, like your cost is significantly lower. So now I'm putting product quality at risk, the price at risk, and it's like when it's all said and done, it's like $550 and $600 for a twin. Like you're not going to want to take that into the streets.
At that point, yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. It's like I want you to be able to rip my board out of the plastic at $400, mount your bindings on it, and go rip the streets, and not feel bad at the end of the season when it's like you've put that thing through the ringer and it might be toast.
Sure.
Like it needs to be more of that like disposable aspect to it.
This thing's gone through 2 street seasons and 2 side country seasons, and
What are some brands that are made in U.S.? Never Summer and LibTech, Signal, are they made in U.S.?
Not anymore.
No, okay. So there's only a couple brands that are really U.S. made anymore.
Yeah, there's definitely some smaller stuff out there. I mean, there totally is. I think Moss Snow Sticks still might be made in the U.S., but I could be wrong.
Okay, I don't know that brand.
It's like it's a little bit more of a vintage brand that's finding some traction again.
It's not like you can like hit up Mervin and be like, hey, I want you guys to make my boards.
Well,
I don't know if they do that, do they? It seems like they're all pretty in-house.
They have. I know there definitely are a couple I think there's been a couple brands over the years and they've locked into some stuff. I know Never Summer for sure makes a ton of stuff. So they make like Academy. They press for Academy, Icelandic Skis, and there's a couple other brands. I mean, so it's out there. But also look at the price point on all those boards too, and look at those skis. So it's still, even making it stateside, like they're still selling $600 twins. Like that's wild to me.
Yeah, it definitely makes it more expensive.
Well, thanks for being so transparent with all the numbers and all the process of it all, because we're all curious. It's the stuff you think about when you're driving up and down the hill. Listen to
before destroying your snowboard.
Yeah.
Some rocks.
So this feeds into another thing that I've always talked about. Like we get to talk sustainability.
Yeah. Bring it. Yeah, let's get to there.
Okay, so let's look about.
That's kind of what I was thinking about with like, building your own snowboard. That's what I think of sustainability wise, is the production side of it. But
yeah, so imagine me pressing out 20, 30 boards that are all bullshit. Yeah. Well, there's plastic. There's
going
wood,
through the
there's
trial
metal.
and error.
Yeah, there's that. But like, so look at this, right? So at its core, making snowboards isn't a sustainable process, right? There's plastic, there's glue, there's all of that shit that doesn't biodegrade. Granted, there are, eco-friendly epoxies these days. I don't think they do as well as like traditional epoxy. Like I see more D-lams out of that. Like I've worked in shops for, well over 10 years. So it's like, I've kind of seen, the ebbs and the flows of all that. But so many companies like have this like eco-friendly shit, right? Like, and I'm not going to talk about the mothership. I'm not specifically talking about mothership, because they actually have a really cool clean energy program for like a 0% carbon footprint, which is rad. But you got plastics, you got epoxies, you got all of that, right? And most of the time with these board companies, they're finding out where they can cut corners to make to increase their margin, to make a lighter board, to make this, that, or the other, right? Well, if you're like someone like one of us who's riding, you haven't got there yet this year, but like riding like 100+ days.
We'll get there.
Blowing your shit.
We'll get there. We have a good summer. We'll get there.
Big spring pass for Donovan.
Yeah, my man. But
Abs of steel.
If you look at it from that, right? So if you're breaking through that many boards because they have all this, they have whatever going on with their production, right? You're going through 3-4 boards a year, or you can buy a non-eco-friendly Friday, and I mean not non-eco-friendly, right? We do bamboo. Bamboo is just naturally sustainable, right? And I do know we get it, like the factory gets it from a sustainable, like the factory, yada, yada, yada. It's sustainable, right? But like, to me, I always look at it from what's more important with it, right? Having an eco-friendly board that lasts 60 days max, or having something that's not as focused on that aspect that lasts 100+ days, right? So it's like, when it's all said and done, for me personally, it's like I have put more eco-friendly boards or eco-conscious boards in the trash than I have non-eco-friendly boards.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Build it to last, and it ends up being more eco-friendly in the long run of it all.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's not biodegradable.
No, it's. I mean,
Or it's not made. I'm picturing like the camping toilet paper that just like as soon as it gets wet, it like goes away kind of thing. Yeah, it's
But,
like not made out of that.
how you gonna have toilet paper that doesn't last when it gets wet? You know?
Yeah.
Like that's.
What other brands besides Friday do you like that are current, and how about some old brands that maybe inspired you?
We're doing it again.
Yeah.
Justin Washam says top 3 board companies, past or present, that you look up to or that inspire you.
Oh, Justin, that's a good one. You're putting me on the spot, buddy. In no particular order, Forum, Tech9, and all due respect, I'm not super keen on New Forum. I like old Forum a little better. I'm not.
Who's on New Forum?
I don't know.
No, it's Jeremy Jones. That's it.
Not anymore.
I don't think so.
Really?
No, he's riding Info Garage.
That didn't last long.
There's a long story
All
behind that I don't even know all of. But actually, those are 3 right there. So old Tech9, old Forum, and Information Garage from Caleb Flowers. Like that's where I'm pulling my most inspiration. The Forum and Tech9, obviously, like from the boards, like the kind of boards, the graphics, all that kind of stuff. Like even next year's bandwidth, that's like camo with the yellow. That's a play on an old Devin Walsh graphic. But obviously T9, it's anyone who's looked at my boards ever can see the influence. We were talking about that earlier. And then Information Garage is Caleb Flowers, like brand, right? And it's pretty low key right now. But I like how he is structuring and attacking the industry, like from a board brand perspective. And that one's been a really cool one, but that's not to take away from anyone else. Like, so like, I know there's mixed emotions on like Ride and K2. But like I think specifically like Ride's got a good program.
Okay.
Like they're doing really good shit. Joe with Joe Sexton in Public, like that's a really cool grassroots kind of approach to it. And then like Karua Shapes, a lot of inspo from those guys. They absolutely crush it. I'm not huge on not doing graphics. I think you're kind of depriving the scene, the community of graphics when you do it that way.
Yeah.
But they do artistic, like they do collabs, and the focus is on the shapes, and they make some of the most fun boards out there. So there's 6 for you, 7.
Okay. Yeah.
That's sick. I slept for like 4 hours last night, so my brain, I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm just like getting comfortable listening. I'm like nodding to sleep over here, so kick me if I fall
You
asleep.
gotta stay
at
on
the
those
table.
questions,
Sorry, guys.
man. Come
I
on.
know.
I've been
Alright.
up since 5, man. My bad.
I was excited. That's awesome, though. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is this the first meeting of the official Chris Bradshaw fan club? Is that what's going on right now?
God.
I think that's your favorite rider.
Yeah,
I've heard
who's
you say before.
the
Who's your favorite Tech9 rider? Is it Bradshaw?
I don't have a favorite, but it's like the holy trinity of Bradshaw, Magoon, and Mark Frank Montoya.
There we go.
Have you met any of those guys? And if not, who's your favorite snowboarder you've ever met?
So I met 2 of the 3.
Oh, really?
Met, Lucas Magoon, maybe 2009 or 2010 Canyons. It was first day of Canyons opening their park. They were filming. Transworld was there. Actually, Gooner dapped me up on a nose press I did on a picnic bench,
Respect.
which was super
Nice.
sick. I fangirled out real hard. Met Mark Frank many moons ago in Utah. He gave me a 40 ounce at a party. That was really interesting. He was a trip, but yeah, haven't met Bradshaw yet.
I've seen Chris Bradshaw at Mount Hood, but I didn't meet him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was it a 40 ounce of Mona V or is it a 40 ounce of alcohol?
No, he was pre Mark Frank Montague era.
I met him during that. My parents
What was it?
sold Mona V underneath.
Mona V?
Yeah, it's like a health drink.
Oh,
like an
okay.
acai drink. It's a great product, but
He was
it was
selling
like
it?
a multi-level marketing thing, and my
Yeah.
parents were underneath him, so
Uh-huh.
he would come and stay at our house when they would do their events out here.
Well, you heard about how he got ran out of Hood many moons ago.
I
in
did.
Brightwood,
It
right?
was during that time.
Nah, let me hear that story.
You want to tell him?
I don't know if I know it well enough. I'd love to have Marco on here to tell it himself, but I know that it involved his tour bus. Yeah, I know that the tour bus didn't have much glass left in it at the end of the evening.
Oh, he was just
And
partying at
I don't know what the
Govey or
situation
something,
was,
or-
but I think it
Brightwood
was back
Tavern.
when
Oh, okay.
I think it's more when like the industry was a little bit more rough and tough
Uh-huh.
kind of a vibe as well. So I think there's a little bit of localism meets Tech 9 meets Broken Glass.
People
But I don't
broke,
know- I don't
people
know
broke
any of the
the
details.
glass on his van.
I just know
Thrashed his,
dude. He had like a
RV thing.
multi-million-dollar like the
He had the RV,
celebrity tour bus,
and he was in
thing.
Brightwood.
Yeah, it just all got like demolished.
And people didn't like him
I don't know
or
what
something.
happened.
I heard he just went full MFM, half in the bag.
Oh, okay.
Just like,
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Yeah.
not a quiet person.
Oh, okay.
no, he's not.
I can see how it got rough, But yeah, shouts Tech 9, man.
You own any sound outerwear?
No,
Still?
I had the Broncos pullover, like the Broncos colored sound pullover, and I got
Oh,
stolen at a
okay.
party.
Oh man.
But I am sitting on a treasure trove of Tech 9 gear. Though.
Oh, okay.
That's
Cool.
for sure.
My stepdad has a bunch of sound outerwear
Really?
So sick.
That's sick.
because Marco gave it to my parents. So like it's fresh still. The dude's never snowboarded in it or nothing.
Damn,
So
you
it's
have
just
to
like
get
in his
it.
closet, right? I should. What's up, Todd? Give me your jacket. All right, let's rip through the questions here. Sorry if we skipped your questions or claimed them as our own. We're known to do that. Oh, a bunch of people ask. Connor wants to know bindings or no bindings.
It depends on the day. It's
I'll say this: in researching, you like pouring through your Instagram, preparing for today. It was I had the most pleasure going through your Instagram versus some of the other guests. Nothing to anyone else, but yours is just like juicy powder slashes. The whole
Thank
it's
you.
like nothing but the feel goods the whole time. I'm like, I love that shit. So,
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's where I'm
fellow
finding the
powder
love.
connoisseur.
I'm a fucking snow snob these days since I've moved west, but I'd say, like, let's put it this way: if it's a POW day at Timberline, no bindings. If it's a POW day at Bowl, even if they allowed no bind, I'd still strap in. Upper Bowl is unmatched when it comes for punting on a fresh POW day.
True. What you're talking about snow quality. One thing that I really like, just a random tangent.
Do it.
We don't get the dry powder as much. Sometimes we do, but not so much out here. But we do get like the good heavy stuff, which is its own kick-ass version of things in and of itself. Because when you throw a good slash up and there's some like girth to the snow, like you can fucking feel it. It's not like just like woof in a white room. I don't know. I like that shit. You
I
break a
love
lot of
it.
noses because of it, but
I've knocked people over with sprays, Cascade concrete sprays before.
oh, there you go. Yeah, someone asked, what's your most notable spray or like a memorable one, and do you remember the victim?
Oh yeah. Here we are. So a couple of years ago, we were at Copper, and if you've ever been to Copper, they're deep on slow zones and safety patrol. Like they are like militaristic about it, and it's
Because they have nationals there, so they fucking probably have to be because they.
Oh,
I've only been
yeah.
there during nationals, and it was like 4 ski kids on the rail at the same time doing like 60 miles an hour like through the park. So like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fucking mayhem.
I don't support police in the mountain, but I see how it probably happens there.
Well, so it's if you're in the main base area, I can't remember what the chairlift's called, but it's the main one like on the left-hand side, right? Where it's a little bit, it has some more beginner terrain, but it like rolls flat. And as a snowboarder, to get through the flats, you kind of got to be cooking. And I'd gotten yelled at a couple times that day to slow down. And I just wasn't having it at the end of the day. So I was like, fuck this. I'm sick of these cops yelling at me about this. So I point it down from the top. And I mean, I lace everyone in the slow zone, probably 10 or 15 people, like head to toe, like pure ruthlessness, right? And I hear safety patrol screaming at this point. I'm trying to I'm simultaneously like adrenaline running because I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here because it was my last run anyway. But also I'm like trying not to piss myself in laughter because it's hands down best spray I've ever had. So I get down to the bottom, unstrap, and I fucking bolt to the car. And I turn around at one point and I see like a whole gang of yellow jackets like coming down, and it's just like, oh man, I gotta go. But yeah, that one's one for the books.
Do they give out tickets there?
Oh hell yeah, they'll give out tickets, pull your pass. It's kooky, man.
That's fucking insane. Dirty Dean hit us with that question. He also hit us
Oh,
with quite a
man.
few more. We're probably not going to ask a good half of them just for time's sake, but we'll get to a couple. Of them. He also said, "What's up with the Cougars on Alpine?"
Oh yeah, do you guys know about that?
On the Alpine run down from Timberline, there's
Towards
cougars.
Alpine? Yeah, so there's.
I've heard a little bit about it. I've never seen
haven't.
any.
So there is I haven't seen it. I know a lot of people who have. So at the gate, of West Leg, around that area, Rider's right of that, there is still a very large female cougar, and she'll every couple days or like once a week or something, she'll pick up a full-size deer, like hunting it in the summer.
Holy
right?
shit!
So there is a
Wait, kind of by the yard?
No.
Not that.
The top gate.
Okay.
So, and she is known to go between West Leg and the Alpine. So I know that they're always like kind of keen on like, hey, don't go off of the Alpine. And granted, they don't really hunt a whole hell of a lot in the winter.
Yeah.
But it is the wildlife, and that does exist. So so that does exist.
I might pay more attention when I ride it with my dog. Just maybe not let her go running around in the woods as much.
Yeah, just be mindful of that, especially if you're like riding the Alpine, especially at night. It's like maybe just stick to the path and get through it quick.
Yeah,
that'd be my suggestion.
Or like ride with a couple people if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, Cam and
Dude,
I.
that'd be gnarly. Get domed by a cougar just like trying to like ride the pine down after your shift.
Dude, we've seen the reason Cam's asking that because we always joke about it, but it's like, yeah, we've seen tracks out there.
I was gonna say, okay, that's the sign that you guys saw was tracks.
Yeah,
dude, that's nuts.
Big. So yeah, don't play around back there.
Ooh, careful, kids. He also asked, do you consider yourself a local?
He knows the answer to that question. I don't consider myself a local, and here's why. I'm a firm believer in that. Like, for me personally, I won't take claim to being a local because this isn't where I grew up. The part of me grew up here, part of me like matured here, and like I was able, like Mount Hood gave me the blank canvas to blossom into to who I've become today, and there's a lot of other things that led to that as well. But I live here, but I just don't want to have the whole local tied to it because it's like, I'm not, bring up Ricky Howard again. That dude born and raised Govey. That is a local. Me, like I don't look at it like that, but that's my own opinion. You
created one of the better companies on Mount Hood.
Humbled by that. Thank you.
For someone that did live here pretty much their whole life, you can leave the imposter syndrome at the door. You're local, if you want to claim it.
I will never claim it, but I will gladly accept it. So thank you.
Does Cam?
I'm glad
does
you hold
Cam
in
claim
such
himself
high
as a local?
prestige.
Cam Dean?
I don't know what Cam Dean claims to be other than his nickname's James Cameron. But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cam jumps out of planes right above my house.
Nice.
He goes skydiving all the time. One of the places is like right above my house, and you can watch you hear the planes like cut their engine, and you see a little black speck jump out, and then the chute opens. I'm all sitting there watching. I'm like, I wonder if that's Cam right now.
Probably.
Crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
What else? He also asked, have you ever had your pass pulled?
Yes. Not out here.
And do you care to elaborate?
I can tell you how I got on Wilmot Mountains. I got banned for life from Wilmot Mountain in Illinois. I'll give you that one. It's a great story.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I'm sure my parents are going to listen to a lot of this, so sorry, Mom and Dad. So 2011 or 2012, myself and a couple people pull up to Wilmot. They had a decent park program at the time. This is pre-Vail. And they're like, hey, no refunds. It's closing day. Like, late season conditions exist. I'm like, all right, cool. My only question was like, well, did you guys groom it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. So if you groomed it, everything should be fine. Well, what they actually did, and this was like a Saturday, they groomed the Sunday or the Monday before and let it sit all week. So it's fucking glue. So we take one lap down, and I go back in. I'm like, nah, I want my money back. This is bullshit. And like, we go back and forth. I run it up to the GM, and the GM was basically like, I don't give a shit what you say or any of your opinions on this, like, but you're not getting your money back. So me being like 21 at the time, I was like, well, fuck you and fuck this. So I start cracking beers, shotgunning on the chairlift, spraying randoms, ollieing ropes, smashing bamboo, just going full like asshole, right? Full asshole mode. Ski Patrol comes up to me, they're like, you gotta leave. I'm like, I'm getting my $40 worth today. Fuck you guys, right? Like, you couldn't ride the park. Like, you couldn't go unless someone else had ridden on that prior. So they're like, their whole park crew sitting there bitching about it. Like, you can't get around. There's literally one run that anyone was able to ride because that's the only place everyone was at. So I just went full dickhead mode, and they called the local PD. They show up, so cops show up. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not getting arrested today. Fuck this. And I chopped it up with them for a little bit, and they're just like, look, here's the deal. Like, you can't be doing this. Like, they asked you to leave, and you didn't. So your options are, one, like, you leave now, or two, you leave with us. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take off. And I'm shooting the shit. The funny thing was the cops were really cool about it because I explained, is like, look, dude, like, their operation's fucked. Like, they're like duping people by saying there's all this stuff going on, and it's not. You can't write it. So I got banned from Wilmot like allegedly for life, right? Now, fast forward a couple of years, I'm up at Keystone right after SIA. We go to night ride. And Wilmot had just been acquired by Vail the year prior. I show up and they're like, hey, just so you know, you're on the last chance list here at Vail.
At Vail.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh,
So
an incident in Wilmot?
Half the U.S. now.
Yeah, so it's like, I think I'm off of that now with Vail. I think there's been like long enough time, but that was the most epic way I got my pass pulled.
That's awesome.
I sure as shit earned it.
Yeah, what a legend. That's funny. Dude, I'm happy that we don't have to deal with that shit at Timberline very much. Knock on
man.
wood. Like, it's pretty, like
what?
just fucking people harassing you on hill for just trying to snowboard. Like, just the you know, you hear about the Yellow Jackets in Colorado and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty
like-
pretty relaxed here in Oregon.
The Yellow Jackets at Timberline are like Leif's mom.
And they are, yeah, which by the way, both I see your parents regularly. They're
Hell
nicest
yeah.
folks. They're just always stoked, and they're always swagged out in church gear. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Hell
see,
yeah.
that's what we got. It's great. What else do we have here from the listeners? Frontboard wants to know, what's your favorite zone at T-Line?
I'll never tell. Next.
Ooh, there we go. I like that. Justin says, any plans for a Friday POW surfer?
Friday, no. If I did it, it'd be under another brand. I'm big on branding, and I want to, like, same reason I don't do a whole hell of a lot of apparel.
Does My Angles Are Broken know your ideas for branding on it?
What ideas? No, we were actually chopping it up yesterday on the chairlift. I ran into that to those boys yesterday.
They're saying Sunday surfers.
Yeah, that's what it was. Sunday surfers
Yeah.
is what they were
I'm
saying.
like, that's not a terrible idea. I like
that's
that.
them. That's all
Yeah,
them.
you would want to go with a no binding board maybe in the future since you ride them so much.
I kind of want to, yeah,
Yeah.
but the other half of me is like, it's nice to have something for me that it's like I don't feel the need to go like produce with. It's not like work.
What other options are there
Totally.
for no bindings? It's the
There's a
ASMO.
lot. There's ASMO, Grassroots, Shark Snow, Convoy. Those are the ones I'm just thinking of right off the rip. Burton makes one. Nitro did a collab with Convoy on theirs, but they have one. There's a lot of them out there.
Okay.
Just they don't. Oh, actually, J-Stone. It is coming out with a new brand called 4D Experimental. That's incredibly similar to ASMO and how like kind of that 3D style base. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there too. So I'm wondering if that's going to be just like a quick,
I like
quick burst.
I like what you said about having something that's like not work for you. That's like an escapism.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, dude, when I was coaching skating at camp, that's what got me back into snowboarding. Because
Really?
like I kind of go back and forth between the two. Like every couple of years, I'll like.
'Cause you're like,
kind
snowboarding
of
wasn't
pivot my
work?
Focus. Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is like my golf right now. Like I
Yeah.
can go and escape, and it's just like just fun. So yeah, keep that pure. StJ says, would you rather jib with normal bindings or ride POW but you have to use step-ons?
Motherfucker.
And a lot of people want to know about your rant on step-ons.
Yeah, Paul told me he had a question, and I'm sure it was along those lines.
Quite a few. I like your April Fool's post, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
The fucked up part is I actually like the colors that you chose on that, where I'm like, that'd be a sick color. If it were gonna be that would be a good colorway.
Dude, the best question or the best piece of feedback I got on that April Fool's Day post was I should have made the balls blue.
That's funny.
Damn, that one's good.
That was good.
Circling back to Steege's question, that is a real. I don't know if I have an answer to that because that's a real Sophie's choice. Because it's like I love jibbing. I guess what is the?
Would you rather jib? What? Would you rather jib with normal bindings or ride powder, but you have to use step-ons?
Oh, I'll jib with normal bindings because I jib in the POW.
You're fucking nice at it too. We
I
had that
appreciate
session at
that.
the challenge rail at the golf course.
Yeah, that was fun.
Lace the challenge rail, maybe first try.
Ryan Flaska called me out though for that. You know him, don't you?
What'd he say?
So-
He goes,
Low
it didn't
lip
start
or
from the
what?
top.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I mean, we rolled up and it was already built.
Yeah,
That particular day, I think it was already built.
I don't know if anyone's.
Do you want to go back and do it from the top?
I
think
do.
Connor has.
Connor.
I think
has.
Connor 50-50'd it, and then he was trying to front board it. And I don't know if he did it.
I'm sure
think-
shit will go down on it.
Casey Mitchell. I think
But it is
did
if you
too.
hit it like halfway through, you do get more speed.
Yeah. Oh,
Because if you
God,
hit
yeah.
it from the top, you kind of have to drop in off a picnic
Trats
table, and you're going
has
pretty
something
slow
on it also,
and
doesn't
stuff.
he? I thought Trats has something in one of your videos.
I don't
Or
think
is it
so.
Extreme Home Video? Or,
I don't think that rails in any of my videos.
one of Cam's videos.
Oh, Home Invasion? I don't think, or Extreme Home Video? I don't think it's in that.
Am I mixing it up?
Yeah, I think you're thinking someone else.
Huh. Maybe it's on his Insta.
Maybe it's
Anyways.
on his Insta.
Trats, you gotta get out of the Snowcat and come talk to us someday and fill us in on the missing rail stories. There's a good one on here. Where'd it go? Oh, Keegan Shack says, "What's the best and worst thing in the snowboard industry currently, or in snowboarding currently? No holding back."
Oh, Keegan, good man.
You might have hit it, but you can hit it again.
So best and worst.
We're getting through them here, so feel free to dump some fire on this one if you got it in the reserve tank.
Well, I'll start off with worst, not because I'm trying to be an asshole here, but it's just kind of an easier one to pick at, and this is going to be a little bit more expansive. It's going to be lack of attention to detail. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in the game right now. And let me kind of elaborate on that. So talking about like tricks, posting, trick selection, all that kind of shit, right? Where it's like, if I see another back fucking 7, like, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. Everyone does them. Can we please stop doing them unless it's Switch or something? The other thing is, like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people like just do a trick and put it out. It's like, oh yeah, I got through the trick, and it's like, yeah, but it's got no flavor. It's got no sauce. Like there are so many front board pretzels on Instagram right now that don't need to be on Instagram. It's like, dude, I can either you're not taking that time to have an attention to detail to your style and how it looks through that trick, or you're just happy with getting through it. And it's like, by all means, like, fuck yeah, like, I'm not doing it. I own that. And I know I've posted some dog shit over the years. I'm not going to deny that. But it's like have that attention to detail. Think for a couple minutes on like what you're doing, how it looks, like incorporate some of that style. Now from a brand, like from like an outerwear perspective, I think some of the most atrocious outerwear that I have ever seen in my entire life has come out in the last 3 to 5 years. There's not that.
That's saying a lot. We had the neon phase.
Like, well, dude, but
I'm just fucking with you.
No, yes, and also, like, I want you to take into consideration cuts of gear, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and I understand, like, the baggy pants thing is back, and I respect it. I absolutely do. And Leif's over there giggling.
Well,
I think we've discovered how far it can go.
Yeah, the baggy pants have gotten a little out of control these days.
The whole dope snow shit.
Well, it's like they're just trash. We don't have to talk about that. But we can if you want. But it's like, I hate the fact that like most of the shit, it's like, would that go well in an MC Hammer video? Fuck yeah, let's put some DWR on that shit and pump it out. It's like, I don't need to fucking hear you before I see you. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing more, like, I don't get any more scared on a snowboard than if I'm sitting in Conways, like if we're halfway through, and I hear like from someone's fucking pants, because I'm like, one, you're coming in probably hot, and two, like, respectfully, 9 times out of 10, like, if you're wearing pants like that, I don't fucking trust your ability to board. Like, you are so focused on fucking looking like that and hiding what your legs are doing, you're actually not probably in control. Mm-hmm. Doubling down on that, it's like, I understand, like, and I come from, we talked about on the Tech 9 era, that shit. But if you look at the cuts from their pants to the baggy pants now, it's kind of like, motherfucker, like, it looks baggy standing still, but you're wearing a goddamn flag through that, right? Like,
yeah.
And I blame the brands for that shit too, right? Because it's like, you're not taking the time to go in and be like, yo, like, what kind of fabric can we use that isn't going to just instantly like fall apart when it hits rail? What kind of fabric are we going to have that's going to be heavy enough that it doesn't just instantly look like, again, a parachute pant? The one thing that I
bet they can't wait for the baggy to be over because of production cost and material.
Oh, it's
like 3 pairs of skinny jeans in one of those.
2 to 3 years, tight pants are coming back. I will say, like, I got to give props to the to 18 Smooth, right? Because he uses a heavier duty fabric. He uses an actual like laminate, pants, like a real piece of fabric for all of the outerwear, and I fuck with that because it's like, I'll fucking dig at Volcom real quick. They came out with the Longo pant, the 20K Longo pant. It is a paper thin face fabric. And I had a pair, and I kid you not, I ripped those out in 2 days. I was like, that's bullshit. So
that's sad, because that was always like, you could always expect quality if you're going to get that.
So you think skinny pants are coming back?
Oh, they will.
In the next 3 years, 5 years?
Speaking of Volcom.
Yeah, I think it will.
Probably. It's due.
Yeah, it's all a cycle. But it's like, I want that attention to detail back in that level of it, right? Like,
yeah, I think you're right. Some people are just, we need to make a baggy snow pant, and they just put it out there, and it's kind of basic, you know, yeah.
It's like you literally go into Alibaba and you're like, baggy ski pants.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me put my fucking logo on that. It's the same mauve pair of pants everyone has seen a million fucking times. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the boot flare?
To each his own with that, man. Like
I feel like when I look back on the like that era, like 9-10 era, or you know, kind of that gap, I'm like, of all the baggies, I kind of like that baggy the most. But it's definitely it looks dated. You can't show up looking like that now. But in my heart, I always have 2 tall tees on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's I still make tall tees, man. I don't give a shit. I got Friday tall tees galore.
That's my personal
What
favorite
about
style in snowboarding.
what about snowboard boots? You know, we talked about boards, bindings, outerwear. I guess we talked a little bit about boots, but I'm just curious what you think about current snowboard boots.
What are you rocking right now?
I'm still rocking dead stock Adidas. I have been hoarding them. I find them on eBay.
And they don't make them
That's
anymore?
right, actually.
No.
When I was at your house, you were showing me that you have a like stock pile of.
I probably have
Adidas
12
in your
pairs of
size.
Adidas boots right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Half
Why do you
of
like
which are
those
new.
ones so much?
Well, so they fit my feet really well, first off. But looking at the construction of them, there's a lot of double and triple stitching that they don't blow out nearly as easily. But they were doing their own proprietary liner. Everyone does an Intuition liner for the most part these days, and
What's the difference?
So a lot of the Intuition liners that you see a lot of brands using, they're really soft and they're like comfy out the box.
Okay.
But they pack out super quick. Like I got a pair of 32s 2 seasons ago, right? A pair of TM2s. Mm-hmm. And they're supposed to be this bomb-proof boot. 5 laps, I went from having a really snug fit to having like straight just my foot moving around on the inside of them.
Okay.
So they like the liners broke in, the shells never did. It kind of bummed me out. So I'm, shout out to Scott Stevens. I love the fact that he still rides for 32. Like that's awesome. It's a beautiful thing. And also I think that their product quality has gone down.
Okay.
Over the years, I've seen a lot of 32s blow out. So that's one of my gripes. I think aesthetically they got something going for them, but it kind of missed the mark the last couple of years for me.
I'll say team-wise, they're kicking ass.
Oh yeah.
Compared to like, I was thinking about this randomly the other day, and I'm not just trying to like kiss their ass or something, but I was like legitimately thinking this. I'm like, I can't really name another roster in snowboarding. It's all like pretty vague and like who rides for Nitro? You can name people that ride for Nitro, or like name them or put them on spot, but like who rides for like Capita, blah blah blah, whatever. It's like there's a shitload of people that ride for him. You can name them, but it's all like it's not this like group. Like 32, I feel like has it's the closest thing to the forum kind of thing.
Totally.
That we have going on right now. Like they have a pretty stacked team.
I think their team's great. The only thing I'm just picking at is the boots. And
No,
that
for
might be
sure.
a personal
The
thing.
quality.
I rock 32 boots right now. And the Phil Hansen ones, I fucking hated them for the first like 6 months I had them. It hurt my ankles, but now they're all broken in. I love them.
Fuck yeah. I mean, and
I
that's
just like a soft boot.
but if they fit you, that's key, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think a lot of boots like aesthetically fell off after Nike and Adidas exited.
Yeah. I feel like that's one place in snowboarding that could be potential is for boot brands.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not really any small boot brands. Maybe it's probably hard to make them.
Yeah, you got
Info Garage.
You got $500,000.
Yeah, he
you
is
wanna
doing
throw
some
at it?
boots.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I
Info
actually.
Garage is doing some boots, huh? Didn't he have
bought
the
a pair.
Adidas molds?
I don't know.
Something along those lines. What
that
I heard.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like it looks like a kind of like almost like a hybrid like mountaineering snowboard boot. It's got some
Okay.
really sick reinforced eyelets. I'm breaking them out for spring because they're a little softer.
Okay.
But I think they're doing some good stuff. I think Vans is doing some good stuff, and I've actually like circling back to the 32 thing. I've heard the new Lashed is good.
Whoever, I don't know, I forget the guy's name, but whoever designed the Adidas Tactical lives in Portland and rides Meadows.
Oh,
I was
sure.
riding Meadows one day and was wearing that boot, and it was like before it was like gone through camp. It was before they're out, and he looks at me, he's like, "Where do you get those?" And I was like, "Blah blah blah," and he's just like, "I designed that. What do you think?" I was like, "What? Like, best fucking boot I've ever put on my foot. Like this."
The white and greens.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, hands that's
solid
the best
ones.
boot I've ever.
You like Adidas more than Nike?
They just fit my feet.
Oh,
better.
okay.
That's all.
I miss vaping.
I was always a Nike guy,
Dude, when
but
I
I like
saw
the
you-
Vans now.
When I saw you put the Nikes in the tree during the DGS event, I almost stopped you because I'm like, "But they're Nikes." Man.
I know.
No.
They're pretty boarded in.
Would you climb the tree for some vapins?
No, I wouldn't climb the tree for any of
kind of
those boots.
condition
Those
are they
boots are
in?
all probably busted.
That should be a challenge next year.
Take a boot down.
Take a
and-
pair of boots down and do
and
a
get a
trick
clip
them.
in 'em?
Yeah, then put them back up there.
Oh, that's sick.
Someone pooped in a boot for the event. I wonder if they threw those boots up in the tree. Because it was Topher, and in the video, he's throwing boots up in the tree.
I'll have to ask him.
Oh, man, that's a crew chow filled boot right there. You know that ain't healthy.
There we go. Keeping Gubby scummy. All right, let's get through all the questions here.
Sorry.
Uncle Andy wants to know, rocks or log jibs?
I'm a rock guy. I jib
Shocking.
more trees.
I was expecting logs.
I do more. I jib more logs, but like there is like Gold Boy. I will not.
You're a
pass up
summer
session.
rock guy for sure, I think.
You know
I
it.
think you're more rock.
He got
What
are
access-
you, Donovan?
He's got access
Yeah.
to boards, so he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah, right?
What's available?
You just take what's
I'll
available?
take what's available. I don't know. I
think I'm more log.
I'm gonna throw a an asterisk in there. I like tapping stumps.
So you're
The
log.
stump tap. Yeah.
Log.
Yeah,
You're a log guy.
it's nice. Especially
You don't like tapping rocks? Not as much?
Not,
Okay.
I skate more in the summertime.
Yeah,
than I
you're
ride,
skating,
So
okay.
I see more logs. I see rocks.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I've never thought about it. I'm gonna have to go.
It's a
jib
good
some
question.
rocks.
That was a great question.
Morgan wants to know, Beatles or Stones?
Stones. I could get a lot of hate for this one real quick, but I can't stand the Beatles
There you go.
personally.
He also asked Pac or Biggie.
Oh, Biggie all day.
There we go. What makes a good PAL board? We asked that already.
Yeah.
Kevin wants to know. Kevin Riley wants to know, what's your lift snack of choice going into the spring?
Ooh. So, what is the like the semi-organic or the organic like they do like the cheddar bunnies. They do
Oh, Amy's?
Amy's. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a fruit rope that has been a lifesaver as of late.
Okay.
That's been super killer. I'll throw that, and I need a little quick hit of sugar. That does it.
I think I need to start doing some snacks on hill again. Like we'll go up and we'll like do some side country builds or whatever, and I'm like, fuck it, the car's right here. I'm just gonna like go do this, and then get up there. I'm like dying like 2 hours later, sitting there staring at the car, just like, should I go down and get a
Oh, you
snack?
leave all your food in the car?
Sometimes I'll bring it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
The one time I didn't, I wish that I did.
Yeah, you didn't
So,
want to walk back
yeah,
down and then
it's
walk
just how
back
it
up.
goes.
Leif, what are you packing in the pockets?
I'll usually bring like some apples and the sandwich maybe.
You're
I go for
adult.
like a
I
full lunch. Yeah. I don't really have any good
You're
snacks.
good at bringing a lunch to the spot. I've
Yes.
noticed that. You
I'm a
come
lunch.
prepared.
Yeah, you don't want to be hungry.
Part of being a filmer, I think.
Yeah, you don't want to be hungry while you're standing there filming.
Yeah, good snacks are critical. What are your thoughts on the current hood scene?
This is a tough one for me. Because I see a lot of positives, but I feel like since I've kind of taken a step back out of the writing scene a little bit more. I'm a little more quiet these days. Like, I don't live at the Toe anymore. Like, for years, I mean, you knew that. Like, both of you guys knew that. I'd spend 4 or 5 days a week there. And since I've kind of pulled myself out of it, it's kind of given me a different perspective on things. So I think I like the strengths that I see in like the brands and the brands bringing the community together, right? DGS, Hood Girls, the little bits that I'm able to provide, horse or snowboards, right? Like, we're seeing that, right? And the one thing I have noticed, though, is that we're starting to see, because everyone is so magnetized to one of those groups, if you don't sit in the center of the Venn diagram across all those, I've seen a little bit, I've seen hesitancy for people to get into the scene, right? Like, it's weird, because I think that we're doing a good job as a community servicing the then and now for our niche group. I don't feel that we are as inviting as we could be, though. And this isn't digging at anyone. And like, I'm putting myself on this too.
To like the next generation, or to like outsiders coming in?
Both, really. Like, and the one big thing for me is I'm always trying to figure out how can I break down that barrier, because like at my core I am an introvert. Like, I'm not super social outside of it, and then especially when I snowboard, like most of the time I'm like on go. I don't like anyone who's ridden with me knows I don't do the stop and wait shit. Like, I kind of want to go and ride as fast as I can, and I've been trying to pull myself away from that to try to be a part of that, like be more inviting to the scene. So I think aspects of it are really strong, and I think other aspects of it are kind of weak. And I feel that there's a lot of things that we probably could do to be better, like and just an event that doesn't have a bunch of drinking in it, right? Like so like you're a sober dude these days. I don't drink anymore, and one of my biggest hurdles when going to an event is like all of the drinking, all the partying, like all of that. And like, don't get it twisted. Like I'm an advocate for the herb, like without a doubt, but like there's not that level of cohesive level of invitation to people outside of that. And it's going to be kind of tough. Like if you think like you're an outsider and you show up to an event and everyone's getting shithouse smoking spliffs, then if that's not your bag, what you're like, you're going to have that. The other thing I've noticed, like the couple laps I've done through the park this year, I'm getting the side eye. Like, who the fuck is this dude? Like this dude, like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. And I had a little bit at the toe the other night. Like, you guys always welcoming, like of course, like, and we have that good scene there, but it's like, I got like all these new folks that are looking at me cause I'm not dressed the same way, not doing the same tricks and all that. And I know that's a hurdle that I think like we've all been on both sides of that one, but there's that kind of level of it that's kind of concerning to me. Like, not like I'm ringing the alarm saying everything's shit fucked, but I feel that we could be more inviting to it, right? That even if you don't identify with one of the brands in the area, I feel as if that we could probably find a way to do better, and I don't have all the answers. But one I will say in specific is, one of the things I think I've seen nationwide over the last couple of years is that I'm noticing less and less people riding park. So, and it was at first I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like transitional, like I understand that, right? Like, people are starting to get more into riding terrain, but as I start kind of like peeling away the layers from what I can observe, is that I'm not seeing an emphasis in any park program really towards the more beginner terrain. Or not terrain, but more beginner parks. Like in my eyes, like
I hear that complaint a lot. It's like little tiny baby in the park features, and then there's like giant shit, and there's like not really a good in between.
Like, and your in between, in my opinion, should be the most entertaining park that you have there, right? Like, there's no reason that. And I'm not picking on Timberline, anyone who's on the park crew, any of those guys, you guys know I got mad love for you. I'm saying though that Thunder should be the most frequented park, and people should be beating the shit out of it. But I feel that what we have done on Hood is we have gotten incredibly comfortable to the point where it's like you're not seeing those boundaries pushed, or you're not seeing that additional level of creativity. We're seeing the same features in the same spot, the same jumps in the same spot, and it's not on
how
Hood
it used
either.
to be too. This might have been before you came to Timberline. It used to be that Conway's was kind of like medium to large features, and then they had a pro park.
Spray paint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
paintbrush. Yeah.
So it was all like the large features over there.
Yeah.
But back, when park budgets were
A little bit.
way more than what they are now and everything.
Well, that's. I mean,
But I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
You're making good points here, and I'm liking what you're saying, and it's intriguing. With all that, is there also a ceiling of sorts above the local brands to like keep, because we've been so like for locals by locals with most of the little companies out here, and like they're just small projects that our friends are doing, but if they were to want to scale and become bigger, is there a cap on that? Like, it blows my mind because everyone, like, you listen to like the Bomb Hole and like other like major snowboarding, and everyone's talking about like, we need to create small events, and we need to like create community and blah blah blah. I'm like, you're describing like fucking Mount Hood. Like,
totally.
Our scene is so sick, and like everyone's like, I feel very fortunate to be a part of it right now, and it just blows my mind that it isn't put on a pedestal and like celebrated nationally, especially because everyone comes here in the summertime, like, and maybe they're recognized and stuff, but I don't know. I'm just like kind of waiting as a spectator for one of these companies to like bust through and like be a big thing. But I'm like, I feel like players within the game of snowboarding, if they do see it, might be trying to keep it stifled so it doesn't fuck with their money, or is it just that I'm up my own ass and no one's actually seeing this? It's just I see it because I live here.
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have the end all be all answer, right? Because that's the $1 million question. But what I will say is this: there's definitely some hurdles on their end, and I feel that not just on the branding side. Well, I feel like I know brands have a way to monetize that kind of thing, right? Like they've had to have found a way. So I don't know if there's a way for them to monetize it, because my kind of take on Hood in the summer isn't like they're not coming into our community. like, or our community, right? They're not coming to Hood.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it feels
observing.
like everyone kind of like just rents our home and like doesn't really pay attention to the locals or anything
Exactly.
like that. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, Utah comes to Mount Hood for a month and then leaves
It's factual.
and comes here and cares about Utah.
I mean, kind of, yeah, and that's no disrespect to all the homies I have in Utah, but like, and also, yeah, that's kind of what happens. I don't know if, and the flip side of that, like, what are we doing wrong that's not like generating that level of buzz for them to come in and bring that all together? And
It's like, does
don't
every
know.
little mountain have its like, you know, have these homie brands and we just don't hear about because it's on their little mountain, you know?
I
don't
mean,
know.
yes and no. I mean, I think that we have that benefit of having the year-round aspect, and then I think we have a pretty like motivated crew. I mean, like, you're talking about someone who's laid the groundwork for it right here, like
Yeah.
Chutch, right? Like, he's got the foundation for that. So I mean, you've lived in Utah, you've done the back and forth, but you also grew up here. I'm curious, like, where your head's at on that.
As in, why aren't the brands nationally recognized?
Or like, where is the disconnect between like our scene and the summer scene? And
Oh, in the summer scene?
Why is it not
Yeah.
more supportive of one another?
Or like, you know,
don't know.
growing up, like from little kids' perspective, you get like, to use skateboarding as an example, maybe it's a little more distant, so it's a little safer. It's like you get like the CCS catalog or whatever, and you're like, this is skateboarding. Here are all the brands. You
Yeah.
know, this is skateboarding right here.
Yeah.
And like, say someone creates a brand, and then for them to get recognized and have a seat at that table, it's like, yo, you're in. You made it.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like there's snowboarding, and there's all the brands that have the seat at the table, and then there's
Yeah.
all the little Mount Hood brands.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like doing just as cool, if not cooler shit.
Yeah.
And like, you know, some of the riders are riding at the same level as some of these other people and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, why does it say stipend down here instead of like, and do the people even
I don't know.
fucking
I
care
think
about making it grow
I think
that
a lot.
big,
I
or-
mean,
it's
yeah.
cool that it's our little special thing. Maybe that's what makes it special.
I think a lot of the brands at Mount Hood are going to break
Are
out
heading
here
that
pretty
direction.
soon. Or I don't know. I mean, I have people that message me all the time trying to move to Mount Hood or saying the rope toe looks cool. Or
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I think in its own way, it is kind of breaking out.
Yeah, and maybe
I
we
mean-
don't really have that industry stamp mark anymore, like a
I don't know.
snowboarder mag to be like, yo, there's a Chutch ad in the snowboarder mat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But-
I don't know.
I don't know. Who am I to say? I fucking make zero money from snowboarding, and we
I
have
think
a little
the
podcast
the
where we
scene-
get together and talk about it.
I will
so-
say, I think the scene in the winter
Whatever.
has gotten bigger because
Yeah.
it used to be summer was its huge thing, and then Mount Hood was just dead in the winter.
That's true.
And now we have cool brands and events and stuff. So I think Mount Hood's still growing.
Yeah.
Maybe we can list it as growing pains.
Yeah.
Is how I
Yeah.
would look at it.
Well,
Do you got any?
thank you to both of you for making this place
Hey,
special.
thanks. You got any events coming up, George?
I don't. I've been
Yeah.
like.
Is that something you want to grow more of? Do more events, or do you not really matter to you, or what do you think?
Well, like in-person events is a tough one for me, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
like our crew is incredibly small, and to do anything like that, I've definitely had conversations with a couple of the different resorts and a couple of things have fallen through. So I know,
Yeah.
like, and like I said, like I'm not gonna throw that like a shade on the community when I am not throwing events anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm taking ownership in that.
I think you should do a Timberline event because I don't know. You're so Timberline. You're a part of it. I mean, you're so in with
I collect a
Timberline. You know.
paycheck from there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not in a bad way. I'm just saying you're up
Yeah.
there all the time. Everyone knows you when you go to Timberline, and all
It
the
would make
riders. You know, it's kind of, yeah, I don't know.
If he,
I'd
well,
like
Do a rail jam or
here's
something.
the deal: Timberline needs to do events,
Yeah.
and they need a sponsor to do the events. So I
Yeah.
think that would be an obvious, easy reach. That a
Yeah.
Timberline rail jam sponsored by Friday Snowboard Co.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe.
Is that
different-
something you're
different
interested in
people.
doing, or not really, or what do you think?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm not super keen on.
Or do you like to be a little disconnected from your job and Friday?
I mean, there's definitely that.
Yeah, right.
It's tough to wear both hats because my knee jerk is like, fuck the man, fuck the system.
Uh-huh.
But also, it's like I don't want to say I'm working for the man because Timberline's still independently owned, which I
Yeah,
think
it's
is
still
rad.
a local
But
ski
it's-
resort.
But it's like part of me is authority, the other part of me wants to buck authority. So I
Uh-huh.
get a real
The other
selfish
part
choice
of you
going
has
on.
a pass to the airport.
Yeah, right. True. Yeah, I do have a badge that allows me to get onto the tarmac. Yes. I'd like to do something. I don't think rail jam's a little too cut and dry. I'd want to do something a little more obscure, but we've had conversations. about it. It just
Someone
hasn't come to
commented
fruition.
asking for like a big mountain powder surfer style event.
Yeah.
I would love to do something
Yeah,
like that.
That'd be cool. Or surf the canyon or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be something that could could
Like a
definitely
little team
do.
video.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting the wheels turning on my end. So hopefully soon. I mean, I'm definitely always down to sponsor stuff. It's like,
I like that the focus is just make kick-ass product,
yeah, it's
and the rest
kind of
takes
my
care
thing.
of itself. Yeah.
And it's, but I need
As
to
a
be better
consumer,
about
we
it.
thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. It's again, thank you.
How are we looking for time here?
I think it's like
We got
11:30.
Minty's opening up the shop today, and he
He
might
requested
be coming in
11:45, right?
Nice. We're doing.
We
we're
got a
doing
couple
real
more
nice.
questions.
we got a few more. We'll wrap it up here. And again, I apologize. I know I skipped quite a few of the questions, and we claimed some of yours as ours. But what are your thoughts on Silent Rock? Do you participate, and if so, why?
I do participate because I am superstitious, just flat out. Like, I haven't had a bad day observing it, so why risk it?
There we go. Simple. Oh, dude, I heard a new one, new to me. I was watching YouTube, just history on Mount Hood.
Yeah.
And they're saying that it was because they're claiming it's because the natives would throw their enemies off of Silent Rock after they'd stuff rocks in their mouth so that they couldn't hear them scream, and then throw them off of there. Which
Wow.
I'm like, obviously BS. I'm like, how the mathematics of it don't work out. It's a gentle slope, but
Oh.
just a new one, you know?
What'd you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was zoning out on the couch. It was playing in the background. I was like, oh, I'll have to remember that for the Hood Report. Well, those are all the questions that we had. So thank you for fielding them and being so open and honest, and letting us take a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, totally. Again, thanks for letting me come in. I hope I wasn't too
And
pessimistic.
new boards coming out this fall, right?
Boards?
But you can
Yeah.
pre-order them starting when? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, April...
on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, April 5th.
Okay.
Sick. Loving the new graphics team.
Yeah.
I like the colors.
Sorry,
It's
April
going to look good
4th.
flying through the air. April 4th.
And what's your website?
This will be out after that.
FridaySnowboardCo.com.
All right. Cool.
Hit us on the Instagram, though.
Yeah.
There we go. We got upcoming events. We already talked about. We got the 420 Jump Jam. They're calling it the High as the Moon Jam on Easter. And Lex is going to be hiding beers all around Govey that morning. So you wake up, go dig a beer out of the snow, go shovel up a jump, do your thing. What else we got? Ski Bowl, Twilight Time. How many more weeks do you think?
I think there's only 2 more weekends.
All right.
Noon to 8.
So get there while you can. This
Yep.
will probably come out this weekend sometime.
Yep.
And then the Friday pre-orders, which we already talked about. So
Thank you.
anything else you guys wanted? I don't think I didn't have a scum of the week
Oh, okay.
set aside for this episode. Do we got anyone off the top of our head?
I mean,
or
Andy Glider, didn't he already win it?
he already won it, but
Okay.
he's an easy pull for any time.
Yeah. I would say JoJo had a good... didn't he already win one, too?
Yeah, because he was the first one to do Pine, right?
Josko, yeah,
Yeah,
he was
Josko.
on there too. I'll give a shout out
Because
to one.
he had a good performance at King of the Mountain, too.
other day
Who's your shout out?
The other day I was like, yo, I need help shoveling. Who wants to come hit a jump? Trace hit me up. And Trace went up there and got his first, or was battling Tame Dog. So shout out Trace.
There we
You're
go.
the scum
There
of
it
the week
is.
for this episode. We'll do it properly. Let's
let's
hit
do
him
it.
with it.
Congratulations, you are scum of the week.
Congrats, Trace. Thanks for hiking up there with me and hucking some carcass into some snow. Always a good time. And we found his cell phone. He tame dogged. His cell phone went
He
flying.
lost it?
He was like, I don't know where my phone is. And we looked back in the footage and we could see it go flying and then made a recovery. So
How about any Hood Report merch coming out?
we're working on it.
It's still in
We're working
progress.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, why don't you donate to the podcast, people? We'll get you some merch. Tariffs and all that stuff being what it is.
Tariffs.
Fuck. The tariffs.
Sorry.
Mike is really upping his game on the tariffs here.
Yeah.
No, we'll have it for you guys here soon.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll hear about it. But yeah, did we hit all the talk points? Is there anything that we left hanging?
I mean, yes and no. We're good. I thought that was great. So much fun. I'm super stoked to be here. Very stoked that it was both of you guys, no disrespect to Lex, but Lex, where the fuck are you?
I know, right? Yeah, call him out.
I'll say I know that Lex really wanted to be here. I know that he's said a lot of great things about you helping him get DGS launched, and yeah.
I think he has to
thanks
take
for
the
being
bus
leader
down
on
here
it.
at 6 a.m. or something, so
Oh,
it's pretty
shit.
awful
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
him
when you
to
see Lex,
commute
it's
here.
gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
No, just flicking him shit.
Word. Well, we'll say our thank yous. Thank you, Friday. Thank you, Chutch. Thank you, Mike at BDK. Thank you, Minty, Record Shop and Sandy for letting us record in here. Swing in, get a skateboard. It's about to be skate season. Thank you. Shout outs to the Hood Girls, Elusive Snow Co., Lifted Northwest. That's a new sponsor that we got. My sister's Dispo is sponsoring us.
Nice.
So if you're traveling through Gresham, Portland area, they're on they're on Southeast 112th and Division, but they also have their product and all the dispos around here. They make pre-roll packs. So it's a family business.
Nice. Did you have some coupons you were giving away at
I
Timberline the
still
other
have
day?
a couple coupons.
Okay.
Hit me up. I got some 40% off coupons. We'll give them to you.
Sick.
It's owned by my sister and her husband. The pre-rolls are rolled by my cousin.
That's awesome.
It all goes to fund my nephew. So in the family, there we go. But yeah, shout outs. Thank you guys all for listening. Any thank yous that you wanted to add on there?
Thank to everyone who supported Friday right off the rip, and everyone who supports us to this day. Shout out Mom, Dad, and without a doubt my older brother. He's the one that actually got me into snowboarding. So yeah, there we go.
Fuck yeah, respect. Thank you. All right, well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you out there.
Another certified hood classic.
Yeah, you go.